Hello everyone, welcome to ALR. We are here tonight for Cobalt for round number 7 of the season
Hello.
1 season. Oh gosh, I could hear myself. Of season 1, absolutely. Oh, I gotta say, it's been an electric season, hasn't it, so far? Really, it's been an absolute cracker on that. Wow. Let's Anyway, let's get going, shall we? We're 18 turns around this at 5.8 mile circuit. This one is, we are a little earlier than normal, but never mind then, because we're just keen to get going, aren't we? Of course, it's happy. It's also International Nurse Day as well. So of course, and it was we just tweeted about that, didn't we, just a few moments ago? And yep, we are very of course, they are the real life heroes kind of thing, aren't they? So I think that is really cool to have to celebrate those kind of things, isn't it? And of course, they are definitely. I've got to say, very impressive indeed, aren't they? I've got to say, I wish I could have the stamina for that kind of job. Goodness me. Unfortunately, I try and fix poorly computers. At least they don't yell back at you, or that's not important, really, is it? Anyway, we're into qualifying then. Well, the computers are not important anyway. Anyway, yes, we are in qualifying then, and so we're going to start the Japanese Grand Prix, the fourth and final day here tonight in ALR. We got 17 cars and only two cars are going to be knocked out of qualifying one then. Let's go through the drivers and the constructors. There is no lap record around here because this is season 1, of course, of Cobalt. So it's all starting afresh. UMAD Bro is leading the championship by 36 points then from Joseph in second then. 36 points, and that's over a race win, by the way. So yes, whatever happens tonight, UMAD Bro will still be the championship leader with 4 rounds to go. Irvine in third position, and he's 7 points away from his teammate Joseph. I gotta say, that's a super team, isn't it? In the Racing Point, really good stuff indeed. In fourth position, hang on, let me take my controller out. In a fourth position, then we have Starburst who's got in front of Hammer Time, who's down. Well, he's down to fifth position, then, and he is 16 points away. Then Iron Knight in sixth. Then with Brooksy down in seventh position. There, Brooksy has only had one race win so far, hasn't he? So let's see if we can get more than one race win. Well, only one driver has had more than one race win anyway, which is you mad, bro. ZGS in eighth position, right here ninth, and Scooby Stew completes the top 10 at this moment in time. In the constructors standings, Racing Point leads by 13 points in front of Alfa Romeo in second. Williams are in third position, Red Bull are fourth, and Renault in fifth, and AlphaTauri have dropped down one position, dropped down two, I should say. McLaren are 9 points away from the AlphaTauri, Ferrari are in eighth, Mercedes are in ninth, and Haas are yet to get off the mark in 10th position then. Those are the so that's Cobalt. In the joint constructors then, this is how it's run the mill is at the moment. We have Renault that are leading on 907 points, 344 points in front of the Racing Point team. They're second at the moment. Alfa Romeo in third, and then it's very close actually after this, because Alfa Romeo in third on 488 points, 452 points for the Williams team, 424 points for the Mercedes team as well, and at 418 for AlphaTauri. That is incredibly close, and AlphaTauri have elevated themselves up to sixth position, up into seventh position is the Ferrari team as well. McLaren have dropped down to 8th from 40. Haas are in at 9th, and Red Bull are in 10th position. They're almost 100 points away from 9th position. Red Bull having a bit of a nightmare season in in all four leagues at the moment, aren't they? So hopefully they can turn that around as well. Ayrton saying hello and good luck to Kobo. Kakarot, still my favourite YouTube name. Fantastic stuff. It said, let's go. Raining for the first 20 minutes of the race, and Kakarot is also saying that as well. Percy, mate, and Goku is saying that. Oh, goodness me. Well, that is gonna. I've got to say, I'm looking forward to that. I love a bit of rain. I don't think we've had any rain at all, have we? We did have a sprinkling of rain in the qualifying 3 last night, didn't we? And did we have any in silver as well? I think silver, didn't we? But that was about it. So yeah, so we have got rain. And Percy mate saying that Brooksy needs an invite, and so there he is. He's back in the session. Good stuff indeed there as we go through Dunlop, which has been a curse to a lot of drivers over the past 3 days. And is it going to be a curse for these drivers in Cobalt as well then, as they were going underneath the crossover as well then. So we're about 4 minutes into this qualifying session then. Noonan saying rain for you guys. Oh, bless your hearts then. It's a typical track anyway. It's old school, isn't it? Barriers are close to catch out the unwary, and so you've got to be a very Very cautious indeed, and of course Coulthard crashed around there in the drive back in '99, didn't he? Just the turn before Spoon, and just as Gaz is coming into Spoon as well. Spoon is also quite infamous for the Williams drivers, isn't it? Where Damon Hill and David Coulthard found the gravel trap there in '95, and I think that all but ended their chance at the Constructors' Championship. I think back in that season, unfortunately, because I think Coulthard went off here at the 130R when he braked, and the gravel just came out with side pods. I think that's how he spun, didn't he? If I'm not very much mistaken. And out the triangle chicane as well for Gaz then, which I don't think is called the triangle chicane, but unfortunately I keep forgetting to look it up then, which I would love to look it up one day in my in my livelihood. Gaz has done a 31 flat there to start us off then. We got Red Bull just finished off the lap as well. We've also got a racing point out there, which is Joseph, who's second in the World Championship. He is fastest, and on the 28-1 there Joseph is really impressive time then straight from the get-go as well. Brooksy has left the session again then, and so hopefully Brooksy can get all these session issues out the way pronto in this opening few minutes in the qualifying. And we are losing two drivers in this first qualifying session. Brooksy's car, I think, is just parked on the middle of the circuit there, which isn't good. Jinner has gone fastest there in the Alpha Tower. Then Jinner, who this is his this is a third Grand Prix here tonight, and he was unlucky in the Russian Grand Prix because it was an Alpha Tauri 1-2, wasn't it? And Brooksy, who's been disqualified there, I gotta say, Brooksy has the most wretched luck, doesn't he, in the in ALR so far. And of course, last week there he was winning the race on his screen, but on our screen he desynced and was right at the back of the field, unfortunately. And now tonight, then he's been disqualified because his car was in a dangerous position there as well. You mad bro's gone fastest by a 1/10 of a second in the Alfa Romeo there as well, as he's only had one pole position. I say only. Jinner's had sorry, Brooksy's had two pole positions. He ain't gonna have a pole position here tonight though, unfortunately. He is out of qualifying already in this qualifying session, so that's a big blow indeed there for Brooksy. Many things has gone into third fastest in the McLaren now, as of course this is the second race of the week as well, so good stuff indeed there. Hammer time has just gone faster, 3/10 of a second in front of you, mad bro. Good stuff indeed then. It's the times are now starting to tumble like a fruit machine, as the drivers are really starting to get their eye in, aren't they? Gaz has done as much as the Gaz is starting to really find some speed there. He's found a second on his second attempt now here in ALR, so good stuff indeed there for Gaz. Just taking a quick look over, his Cosmo has gone 6 faster than, so I take a peek over the map there, and yeah, so both Red Bulls and Picasso has gone into 6 fastest at the moment as well then. And as Brooksy said, this game is a joke. Why am I last? And unfortunately, it looks like that the gamers perceived you, Brooksy, to park in a dangerous location. And for some reason, it didn't actually put you back in the pits. Well, it should have done, really. Oh my gosh, sir! And who is that there? That's Casal off there. Oh my word, then. Sorry, should I say Casal, who's off the circuit? Goodness me! And somehow he's kept it going just about there. But my word, there. I gotta say, when you crash it down, it's usually damage or the end of your session then, but not for the Renault in car 57 then, so he is all fine and dandy. And goodness gracious me, then that certainly would have woke up Casal, and that would have been the end of qualifying really for us in a theory, because then that would have meant that all the drivers would have been safer through then. Brooksy saying it's a joke. It is, isn't it? So that's unfortunate for Brooksy, out of qualifying then already. And remember, he's the only man in the Cobalt history to have two pole positions, which was in the hang on, let me it was in Singapore and Russia. He was going for a hat-trick here tonight. He's been really liking the far part of is it the eastern, but we like the western part of the plant, didn't he? In the Singapore and Russia, and then here tonight as well, potentially. Brooks is back in the session then, but unfortunately he is he's not going to be a part of the qualifying session anymore then, so that's a shame then. To be eliminated from this qualifying session as well. Back on board of Casal then, who had a very lucky trip into the gravel over at Dunlop not too long ago. Casal's, I've got to say, that's a very good time in the Belgian 1995 game. It's not a good time here tonight then, so I think Casal's going to have to go around again. I'm saying Casal, and I think it's Casal. And there's Brooksy's car then, which is still parked on the side of the track there. I gotta say, when Brooksy does lag out, his car does seem to have very interesting behaviours, doesn't it? Of course, last week there, he was leading the race quite comfortably. And then here tonight then, for some reason, his car didn't get reset. He's still parked out on the side of the track then, which is very unusual to say the very least, isn't it? Casal then going underneath the crossover as well. The only F1 circuit on the Formula 1 calendar in the a figure of 8 now then, of course, where we go over and under, don't we? Just out of Dignity, we go under the bridge, and then going up to the 130R, we go over the bridge then as well. And now coming up into Spoon as well. So we've had 10 teams and 10 times are on the board. We're just watching Castle as well, and it's quite enjoyable actually watching Castle there go for a time here. I'm quite liking the fact then that we've just got one, and at the moment we have got just a couple of drivers there who are just on a lap at the moment. We've got a racing point of Irvine, who's just got up in the third position, unbeknownst to me then, because he's been up in the third for quite a while, because he's done 3 laps then, whilst I've been distracted, so I apologise to Irvine. Of course, any of you that Casal going second fastest, that's a great second time now, my word. Pretty impressive indeed then. Scooby Stew on circuit as well. We've got Kaz on that lap. Duncan is coming up into the 130R, ZGS then into the hairpin as well. There is Duncan as well through the 130R as well, now breaking down into the triangle chicane. And I was just about to say, any of you drivers there, Irvine fans, then, any fans of Irvine, whether that's our Irvine or F1's Irvine, he's been very good around here, hasn't he? The real Eddie Irvine now in the Ferrari back in '97. Now Ferrari absolutely nailed the strategy, which you don't say that these days, do you? But I got to think that meme is turning into the Red Bull meme lately, isn't it? Out of the final turn then comes Scooby Stew. He's done a 30 at the moment. No, that is the slowest of the time runners thus far. ZGS there into the triangle chicane as well in the Alfa Romeo then, of course, with the 1991 Schumacher helmet out of the final turn then for ZGS. He goes 9th fastest in the Alfa Romeo, so that should see him safely through then, but we'll find out then. Here's Kaz there into the Kobayashi hairpin now. Oh my word, there he's getting a bit tail happy there as he accelerates on the frost there, a bit too lively perhaps then as well. On board now with Kaz, and he's coming up into Spoon then. Of course, we'll just get out of the way now. I gotta say, I am feeling a bit sheepish tonight because I was feeling all proud of myself as I bought something off Amazon, but unfortunately, it's the wrong product again. I gotta say, I'm absolutely appalling with this Amazon stuff, really. Because I think back in the summer, I got a new phone then, but unfortunately, I brought the wrong case for it. Well, yesterday or the day before, I bought a capture card, and then I have realised that it's an internal capture card. So there we go. It didn't say it on the Amazon description list. It probably did actually, but I haven't decided. I've decided that I'm not going to. Scooby Stew there is pointing the wrong way there, so Scooby Stew's going to have to. Where is that? That's just coming out of Spoon now. I've also got a Red Bull touring as well, as Cosmo is going to struggle to get back to the pits on that. Is Scooby Stew burning rubber there, getting back onto the circle as well. Then, so that's not looking too good then. Yeah, so unfortunately, I bought a capture card which was going to go, which is internal, which is meant to go inside the PC. Only problem with that is I don't have a PC. So there we go. That's kind of really rained on my parade. That's about 300 quid down the drain as well. So it looks like I'm going to have to find a way to return that then. There you go. So silly me. But so I am a bit wounded tonight then, just to say the least then. Very unhappy chappy I was then, as I found out about 20 minutes ago when I was opening up my package. But yeah, I gotta say actually, it came really quick though. To be honest, I just seen it last night. I was like, yes, smash bang, order it, get it out then. But yeah, and unfortunately, it's the wrong thing. So, not a happy chappy. So, I know what I'll be doing on the weekend then is trying to find a way to return that. Hopefully, it's got a 30-day return goods, and I'm going to have to go for another one. Since this one down here is kind of on its last legs, unfortunately. Every time I breathe out, it breaks. But there we go. Anyway, then, enough about my personal problems that I'm having here tonight. Let's see what these drivers could do on here. And I got to say, none of them have had any personal problems yet. And when I say personal problems, I mean we've only seen one driver who has gone off into the kitty litter, and that was, of course, Casal in the Dunlop as well, going off into the gravel trap there. But he got out. He didn't damage the car either. Iron Knight is 3/10 second away from Picasso at the moment, who's back out for a second time lap. He has invalidated his time now, hasn't he? me. Scuba Student is also going for a second time lap as well. Styles is still in the pits at the moment with 5 minutes to go in this qualifying session as well, as we're coming into Spoon and Accelerator now in car 14. Scuba Student, he's got to find a new number for season, number 6 of ALR next season, with the great Fernando Alonso returning into the fray as well. Many things has just got up into second fastest in the McLaren. Good time indeed there for many things there. 2/10 seconds away from the benchmark, which is hammer time at the moment. You got Scuba Student into the triangle chicane, accelerating away as well. That is looking at a very sturdy car indeed. Then lovely shot here from the front note wing section then, as Scuba Stu elevates himself into a 29.2 there. I think that's very good stuff indeed there. Gaz is on a lap at the moment, and it's the Haas team then haven't scored yet. Remember that the Racing Point team in silver didn't score for the first 10 odd races today. Unfortunately, if that is going to be the case here in Cobalt, there's only 11 rounds then, so Haas need to get on with it, don't they? Both drivers then having a bit of a difficult start to their careers in ALR Cobalt, but I think that Stars and Gaz have been very unlucky, haven't they? Gaz was unfortunately out of the race quite early on the Hungarian Grand Prix, if I remember rightly, and he had some pace around there. I think he qualified 12th, and he was near the points, wasn't he? Gaz was. I know. I think he had some good pace in the race as well. Would have had some good pace in the race as well. Styles then, I got to say, Styles was looking good in Russia, wasn't he as well? But I think it was Russia, wasn't it? Before he came a cropper. Many things are just. Oh gosh, and Casal is off again. My goodness me! Then I got to say, I think he's. I got to say, has he got a Monza style setup on there? Oh my word! Then as that car does, he keeps me floating off the road then, unless he has encountered the rain too early perhaps then for Casal. Either way though, this lap is done and dusted. These are another new set of soft tyres then for Casal, so he is not too concerned about the tyres, is he? Maybe because with the rain there at the start of the race. Is it the start of the race? I'm not too sure, to be honest. I should have really have read that. I know you guys told me, but maybe I should have. Maybe I might have to go back and reread it, and if someone could help me out there, that'd be great, because I've completely forgotten. But yeah, I think that if it is raining at the beginning of the race... Oh, Gaz is off the circle as well, and that's at the S's there. Of course, it's a tough old part of circle, isn't it, the S's? And of course, if you get one part wrong, then it's just a snowball effect, isn't it, where you're just going to cause yourself more and more bother, aren't you? So I think, unfortunately, Gaz, luckily though for Gaz, he is safely through at the moment, and I don't think Styles is coming out then, as Ayrton's going to be very unhappy with me, because I don't think I have read the event notes, and have I, which is not very good, is it? But I do have an excuse today, as I'm going to be complaining quite a lot about my misfortune on Amazon tonight. Gaz then is at many things retired from the session, and he is in the pits. He is in the Eden pits, and of course you can retire in the pits, and if you hit something hard on the circuit and you damage the car beyond its own steam, be able to get back to the pits, that is it. You are done. No safety cars in Formula 1 these days. Remember Eddie Irvine? I was saying about Eddie Irvine had a good run around here, but unfortunately I'm going to bring up a bad memory for Eddie Irvine fans now. Of course, it was 99, where he was challenging Mika Hakkinen for the 99 World Championship, wasn't it? I think that there was like 4, 5, 6 points between the two. It was quite intense stuff, wasn't it? Between those two drivers then, towards the end of that season as well. And as Gaz coming across the line, and Gaz is safely through. His teammate is out qualifying, so that's Styles and Brooks the out qualifying, and I think that those two drivers then might well, let's see how those two drivers do them, but it's a difficult ask to overtake on this circuit there. It is indeed. Then having said that, the final part of the circuit is very much said is quite really flat out, isn't it, from Spoon? Oh no, and Gaz is in the wall. He is out of qualifying, and oh my goodness me, he would have been through into qualifying too there, but that is not going to be the case now. He will start 15th on the grid then for the Japanese Grand Prix, unfortunately, and that is a shame, isn't it, for Gaz there. He was safe through. We've lost 3 cars in Cosmo in 12th position, and then Picasso then coming over the crest of the hill as well, and flying past me, going into run 30R there. Of course, it was a beast of a corner, wasn't it, back in the mid to late 90s there. And of course, I think Alan McNish had a big smash there in 2002 in his final, well, unfortunately didn't get his final race there for the Toyota team, did he? Before he became a Renault reserve and test driver, didn't he, for 2003. That was believe it or not, McNish's one and only time that he was a full-time Formula 1 driver, which is quite surprising, isn't it, really? But of course, McNish there, a legend in a sports car and things like that. A multiple Le Mans winner there, of course, the 24-hour Le Mans winner. One of the, I really love Le Mans, and I haven't heard much about it this season. And they do have those hypercars, don't they? Which they were slower than the LMP2 at one stage in the Belgium race that they just done, or a couple of weeks ago. So I'm not sure, but I gotta say I'm not really a big old fan of the Le Mans 24-hour series or whatever they call it. It's the WEC, isn't it? The World Endurance the World Endurance Championship. I'm not really a big fan of that, to be honest. I wouldn't watch it religiously, but I do love watching the Le Mans 24-hour race. I gotta say I'm one of those kind of tourist fans, and as he comes into the pits now, Cosmo does slowing down to the pit lane speed limiter. That is qualifying done and dusted then for qualifying one. Then 20 minutes are gone in our session, and we are now going into qualifying two now. As Jamie's asked, who's on comms tonight? It is me, my good man. The guy that is ginger and rages a bit. So that is the end of qualifying one. Out of qualifying is Brooksy, Styles, and Gaz. Two Haas cars, and also a AlphaTauri Brooks as well, who's disqualified for it was not his own fault whatsoever, was it? Unfortunately, as he left the session then, and then unfortunately the AI decided to just park him in a really silly place, and that was him done and dusted then. So Brooks out qualifying. Then we have got the two Haas cars of Gaz in 15th, and in 16th position is Styles as well. So good stuff indeed then. Gordo is saying then, hello Cobalt, looking forward to an exciting race for my birthday. Happy birthday, Gordo then. Goodness me. I think it's Curly's birthday as well, so happy birthday to Curly and Gordo then. So yes, you've kept that very quiet indeed, Gordo. I hope you've had a cracking day, whatever that may have been then. And of course, I hope you've had a good day. I'd like to hear what you've done actually, Gordo. I hope you haven't been to school. If you, I don't know, is school, have they broke up now? I don't know really. Oh, there we go. Jamie saying, Jamie to commentate soon then. Yes, indeed, my good man then. Of course, I'm always happy to step aside, especially on Wednesdays. Goodness me, it's I got to say I have to rush home and really get my hair done and everything. I've got my suit and tie on and ready to get going as well. 14 cars are left then in qualifying two. Let's see then who's the four drivers out of qualifying, who is going to be through into qualifying at three as well. And I've just clipped my thumb and that hurt. Oh gosh. Right then, so now the Red Bull is coming out of the garage. Then it's Hammer Time, who has been pretty quick. I haven't seen much of Hammer Time, but my goodness me, when he has been out on track, he has been magnificent, hasn't he? So let's see then what he can do. And now this is where it really starts to count then. Of course, we are expecting rain in the race, haven't we? And I think it's rain the first 20 minutes into the race as well. So that means that you do not have to worry about what tyres you set your fastest time on in this qualifying session. For anyone who's new and watching this and watching Formula 1 for the first time, or ALR F1, if you get into qualifying three, you must start on the tyres which you set your fastest time on in this qualifying session then for the race itself. And because it's raining, because the weather conditions have changed, then that means that rule does not apply. So of course they can use whatever tyre they want then. Having said that, many things and Ginner is still going on the medium tyres by the looks of that then. Very good stuff indeed then. We got Hammer Time then, it's just going to Spoon as well. We got a couple of cars out on circuit at the moment. I think we got about 7 or 8 then. So half the grid is out, half the grid is still in the pits then, just chilling out. And probably are they enjoying the session perhaps? Are they watching their competitors? Or they might be on their phone props and maybe just having a look to see what's on the interweb as well. We have got Hammer Time into the 130R as well. The other driver that had a big smash around there was Hami Igashwari, I think. Wasn't it in 2009 or 11? I think it was, wasn't it? Well, it was one of those years, but I can't remember which one. Igashwari then, I think he had a very instant pack Grand Prix in 2009 then. I remember that it was the Fuji Super Speedway that was the host of the Japanese Grand Prix back in 2007 and 8 then. And of course, that 2007 race was absolutely saturated, wasn't it? It was a stormy Saturday and a stormy Sunday. It was horrific weather. I think it was nice weather on Friday, but then after that it was it was raining cats and dogs, wasn't it? And Fernando Alonso, of course, was at the peak of his power, wasn't he, in the McLaren, his first into the McLaren team, which didn't go too well, did it? Unfortunately, his two McLaren stints didn't go very well at all, did they? Hammer time, look at that and how much commitment he had there coming on the outside of Degner 1. That's really impressive indeed, isn't it, for Hammer time before he comes into the Kobayashi hairpin, which is not the Kobayashi hairpin, but I've got to say, every time I see that hairpin, I just think about Kobayashi. Oh, Daddy Fiat, as he he had a big old smash there in 2015, didn't he? 14? I think, no, it's 15, wasn't it? It was 15, yes, it was 15, goodness gracious me. Of course, if he had a crash there in 14 in the Red Bull, I don't know where Vettel would have been, because I think the Vettel on this weekend in 2014, the Japanese Grand Prix weekend, I think he announced that he was going to Ferrari, didn't he? Which was a very big story at the time. My goodness me, it's a really... It really spiced the driver marker up quite nicely indeed there for 2015. Of course, for 2015 now. And that's what Danny Fiat then got into that Red Bull seat. Hammer time's gone fast on the 27 on those soft tyres, and so very good stuff indeed then too. Starts off and lovely stuff as he goes into turn 1. We got Picasso, who is invalidated his time, so Picasso's going to have to go around again. Cal Star is currently on a lap then, but what about Gino then? He's invalidated his time as well. Unfortunately, here comes your mad bro. Of course, he's the championship leader at the moment, and he is also now fastest on this qualifying session as well. He's 3/10 of a second in front then. Goodness gracious me there. Brooks, you asking why is drivers on medium tyres and when it's raining in the race? And yes, I was asking that as well in the opening stage of this qualifying session. Yeah, because it is raining at the beginning of the race. So it's 20 minutes of rain then to start off the Japanese Grand Prix. We've had a lot of rain. Over the years in Japan as well, haven't we? Joseph has gone third fastest in the racing point then, and he is 6/10 of a second away. Then Duncan has just gone into full fastest in the Williams. Good stuff indeed there for Duncan. Cosmo has just popped himself into fifth fastest then in the second Red Bull. Jenner has invalidated that lap as well. What about Kaz then flicking it through the 130R as well, and now coming into the triangle chicane then. There's only one braking point into the sector 3, isn't it, which is this triangle chicane here. Accelerating away then. Yellow flags then for the racing point. I think it's Joseph just coming back to the pits then. Kaz goes at 6th fastest then in the Ferrari. We've got McLaren in the background, and that's many things. He's gone 5th fastest on the medium tyres. Many things else, and of course Brooks, he did ask why is he out there on the medium tyres, and well, I think he asked why is it him, Ginner and Kalsa out on the medium tyres then. Well, I'm wondering if they might want to be saving some of the soft tyres for the race perhaps then. Maybe it does depend on how long the rain is going to be here. Of course, we in a normal race condition, we would be expecting a one-stop strategy from the softs to the mediums or the mediums to the soft tyres there. It's probably the way that a lot of drivers is that many things there is off there into the gravel there, and oh gosh, there he doesn't want to get beached in there, does he? He's trying to keep up the momentum. He's found a service road, and he should be back on there without any problems whatsoever. We are losing 4 cars in this qualifying session. Unfortunately, Gaz is out after a big smash in qualifying 1, so he is down in 15th position now. Next to his teammate Stars as well, as many things there is doing his best motocross impression there. Lovely stuff indeed. Kaz there, is he going for a second time run? He is indeed there, so is Ginner as well. So we're going to stick with Kaz at the moment, but he is 2/10 of a second down in the Ferrari. So he's not a second down in the Ferrari then, so I think he'll be coming back into the pits on this one as well. As you can see, he's out of Urs there. The telemetry on the bottom right hand side of your screen then. As we accelerate away, and as Sirius was saying, evening all then. Laptop wouldn't do. You have to have a external drive, Sean. Joke start. Yes. Sorry, I read that lot wrong there. Sorry, Sirius. I butchered that completely. It's because I'm really down in the dumps about it. I'm absolutely kicking myself. The problem is I don't learn my lesson because I did the same thing around Christmas time when I got a new phone, and I bought a case then because I bought a case for a standard Samsung Note when I had a Note Plus or Note Extra, or a little bigger one basically, because I like to use my phone for YouTube and all that kind of stuff, which I'm actually watching the stream on my phone as we speak then as well. So good stuff indeed. I've got to say, I do look like I'm in a command center. Unfortunately, my command center doesn't have an external capture card then. So yes, I am a bit wounded by that one. Here's Picasso Picasso then. He got his points. He got the first points of his career last time, didn't he, in the Mercedes? To be honest, he's been threatening to get points though for the last couple of outings, hasn't he, Picasso has? He should be a lot higher up than what he is at the moment, as he's now coming into Spoon as well. Brooksy saying, last the first challenge, maybe then. Oh, goodness me, then. Let's see how good Brooksy is in the wet then. I don't think we've seen Brooksy in the wet in the Hungarian Grand Prix. I think that's the only wet race we've had in Cobalt so far. We've seen how good You Mad Bro was in that wet race. Absolutely phenomenal. He really was indeed, wasn't he? You Mad Bro, as he was the first driver to throw on the deeply grooved wet tires there, which of course dispersed a lot more water, and he was absolutely flying as well. Why are we talking about the rain? Is that Picasso goes 7 faster. The reason is then that we are expecting rain at the first 20 minutes in the qualifying session then. In the first qualifying session, in the first 20 minutes of the race, and later on tonight. So very much keep your eyes peeled on that one. It's going to be a cracker-lacquer, isn't it? 11-3 in the second intermediate split time search version. Why only 17 drivers tonight? They better be really ill. Oh, goodness me. Oh, gosh, there is a Gina there. Is again a bit squirrely on the rear there. I think that, to be honest, I think that, I don't think a lot of people like the Japanese Grand Prix track, do they? I love well, actually I don't. I despise it really after last night, I got to say. As now coming in to and under the crossover as well. Yellow flags is fluttering all around the course at the moment, and of course, and we're just watching Irvine as well. I think Irvine is a pole sitter as well, isn't he? He was on pole position back at the Belgian Grand Prix. Irvine is. He is now third in the World Championship. He is about 7 points away from his teammate as well. The Racing Point team are super duper, aren't they? They got two very capable drivers there, and potentially both of them will be up into bronze next season, which I would say that's absolutely fine addition, isn't it, to the third tier of ALR, which I can't believe I'm saying that we have 4 tiers. Goodness me, then. I gotta say, we definitely have our work cut out now. From Sunday to Wednesday, we are live every those 4 days. Brilliant stuff indeed there. Of course, I'm looking forward to the season review as everyone comes across the line. These third fastest out. We've got 4 season reviews to do at the end of the season as well. So keep your eyes peeled as well. As of course, Cobalt drivers, and we of course, where the admins do a season review there, where you just pick out. Usually we pick out 5 races, then we have 7 other. Then we have pick out 7 races. We have 7 races in total. We pick out 5 of them, apart from Australia and Abu Dhabi, because we like to start and end it in a nice way, really, don't we? And then we have 5 races in the middle, kind of thing. Then, so yeah, keep your eyes peeled, because we also have awards as well at the end of the season, like the best overtake. Then, of course, Ayrton was nominated for the best driver to be overtaken last season, or wasn't he? One of them, as Aaron Knight goes 5th fastest with that incredible overtake from Welsh Maldonado on the exit of turn 3 there. Ayrton with Tyre Bowler. It was one of the best overtakes you'll ever see. Kaz coming up into Spoon as well. He's on the final part of the lap there. Cheers for saying, I watched your stream at work today, Sean. I cried with laughter. Well, I was crying in pain, to be honest. It was appalling stuff indeed. I gotta say, you all know, that's why I rage. That's why I'm called Ginger Rage, because when I first started little game, when I first started gaming, and I really was actually a proper rager, especially on the likes of World at War, and I think it was Modern Warfare 2 and 3. But yes, I was a poor loser, and to be honest, I think that a bit of my old gamer personality came out last night. I gotta say, I was swearing galore then. So do not. I gotta say, I forgot the profanity buzzer last night. I blame, of course, I do blame Dan Murphy there for talking to me in the wrong part of the track. Scooby Stew at the final turn. He has done a 33. He is on the medium tires as well, Scooby Stew is. So I'm not sure that. I wonder if some drivers haven't checked the weather, perhaps then, or maybe again. Then I think it might actually be because of the they want to have some soft tires, don't they? Because they think it's going to rain for at least over half distance of the Grand Prix, where you're going to need some soft tires towards the end of the race. So they need some soft tires to really hammer home there, don't they? So that's probably why That's probably why some drivers might be on the medium tires, perhaps. But I would have thought that track position might be king around here. Well, I'd certainly say so, because otherwise you'll have a lot of DRS trains. There's only one DRS zone around here, and I think the only other track where you have one DRS is at Monaco as well. No one's corrected me yet, so I'm assuming that that's gospel, isn't it? But of course, Imola had only one DRS zone last season as well. Did they have two this year? I think I asked this question on Monday, didn't I? And I can't remember if anyone gave me an answer or not. I'm sure they had two, didn't they, this year? Perhaps then. Kaz is coming into the pits then. So Kaz has had enough of that then. So we've got 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Many things is out on the medium tires, and look how bumpy it was going into that into the garage there for Kaz there. It's a bit of an old school circuit, this one is, isn't it? The garages there are, well, I've got to say, they're not falling apart, are they? They wasn't like the Montreal style garages back in the mid 2000s. Scooby Stu comes across the line. He's found 1.1 seconds there in the Mercedes, and Scooby Stu is there. It looks like that he's really getting his eye in now. Scooby Stu is really starting to put some pressure on. Picasso's on the lap now. He's on the fringes of being eliminated out of qualifying, and we've also got many things out on qualifying as well at the moment, but they are on the cusp, and we've got a minute and a half to go in this qualifying session now. There's a car right off the circuit. I think that is Scooby Stu, Picasso's teammate, who was off near the scenery there as well. We have got Ayrton saying that, can I win the most miraculous win of the season? Nailed on Ayrton, mate. Then I think that might be. I got to say, that's my moment of the season personally. I think that was of silver anyway. I think that was absolutely brilliant, wasn't it, from Ayrton as well. Of course, the guy taking the conditions absolute to perfection there, didn't he? And of course, he kept his nose clean. And so Ayrton, a race winner now, isn't he? Goodness gracious me. Unfortunately, for Ayrton, he hasn't had much else to write home about this season. It's been a very challenging season for Ayrton, as it has for the AlphaTauri in the silver division as well. Having said that, though, Ayrton is not in the relegation zone at the moment, is he? And I think that I would like to see next season I've got a good feeling about Ayrton next season. I think that for some reason I have a superstition. We'll talk about this in a bit actually, because Picasso just comes across the line. We come across the line, and Picasso goes at 8 faster than him. Many things there, 7/10 of a second up as well. And he's now coming into the triangle chicane as well. Look at that, locking up the right front tire then before accelerating away and coming up into the final part of the lap. Then of course it's quite an easy turn 18, and many things has gone fast there by less than a tenth of a second, less than half a tenth of a second. He is 300 of a second in front there. CGS is on circuit as well. He's going to go for a one and done lap while Scooby Stu is in the pits as well. We've got Jinner out on qualifying at the moment, but he is 17 seconds down in the first sector there, so he might need a bit of a miracle there. Going back actually to Ayrton, and I think there's a couple of drivers then that I'm looking forward to seeing what they could do on the 2021 game. I've got a superstition there where, for example, I do better on the odd numbered games, so like 2019, 2021, 2023, and so on and so forth, and 2017 as well. I think I was alright on as well. That is my theory as well, and I think that Ayrton did a good job in the second half of bronze, didn't he? In a couple of seasons ago then. But then again, I may be just getting my wires crossed then as well. So ZGS then coming in to the 130 yard then in the Alfa Romeo then. Just carrying on then with the comments as well. We've got Brooks saying maybe it would be dry enough for dry tires when it rains like then. Yeah, that's a very good point actually. There's us like commented, why are they on the medium tires? But this might be a shrewd move for the likes of CGS, and who's on the medium tires. And here's through into qualifying at 3 as well, and Picasso crawling back to the pits, and Jinner, who was on the front row last time out in Russia, is out of qualifying. He's down in 11th position there, and I would normally say at this moment in time then it's going to be the fresh tires that he might help then, but I'm not sure if that might be the case later on then when there is rain afoot then, of course. So oh my word there, we have got Jamie all right. Wow, then I think he was impressed there with many things, his performance, so was I. That's really good stuff indeed there. Absolutely brilliant stuff, Ben. Scooby Stu has never checked the weather. So, Joanne is Scooby. Joanne is Stu. I would have said that I was that you were just trying to get your eye in on the medium tires, perhaps, and you wanted to save some soft tires for later on in the race. But unfortunately, Scooby Stu has really dropped himself in it, hasn't he? And he hasn't checked the weather, which is a bit unfortunate for Scooby Stu. He's down in 14th position now on the here in the Japanese Grand Prix. So now floating into turn 1 then. So we've lost 4 drivers in this this qualifying 2 session. We're now into qualifying 3. We've done the elimination part of qualifying. Now it's the going to be who is going to be the quickest driver here in Japan then. So it's all about 1 lap pace then, and out and then going into, well, for what it's worth, before you go talk about the drivers who've been eliminated, many things is the fastest one, and 2900 second in front of you, Mad Bro in second with Hammer Time in third. Those two are looking very quick. Irvine and Joseph in 4th and 5th, and R96 set with his teammate Duncan 10th, and Casal, who's I got to say has had an adventure so far, hasn't he, Casal? But my goodness me, he has got a lot of rear end stability. Picasso in 9th, ZGS in 10th position. Jinner last week's front row sitter down in 11th position, and where Brooksy, our pole sitter from last week, is at the back of the field. Kaz in 12th position, Cosmo 13th, Scooby Stew in 14th. Those are your eliminations as we get ready for qualifying 3 coming up in just a jiffy as well then. And Gordo saying, can I get the award for the most wins lost by penalties? And I think Gordo's had 3 now, hasn't he? He's been a very unlucky cookie, hasn't he? And unfortunately, I think the Italian Grand Prix one, which we was talking about a minute ago, unfortunately, we had a race restart, didn't we? And I think that really threw a curveball, doesn't it? Everyone's done it. I got to say, but at least he put a setup on, unlike some ginger fool that is talking to you right now. Anyway, we're now into qualifying 3, and let's see. Let's see what we got. Let's see who's going to be on pole position then. So far then in Cobalt, we've had one person who's been on pole position more than once. That is Brooksy. He was on pole position in Singapore and Russia. As the cars are now starting to come out on circuit then. We have had no one else who's been on pole position more than once. Then we've had Irvine on pole position. We've had Chappie on pole position in the Italian Grand Prix. Iron Knight in the Hungarian Grand Prix. And you Mad Bro was the first ever pole sitter of Cobalt back in the British Grand Prix. So then let's see then who is going to get their second pole position, or who is going to get their first pole position of their career as well. Then we're on board with Hammer Tom next. We're going through the S's as well, and so then here's the first and only Red Bull in this qualifying at 3 sessions as well. Then so that is it then. So we are finished then with the eliminations. Now it's all about 1 lap pace then. So who is going to throw against the wall? Who is going to pull on pole position then? We're going to find out as well. It's a tough old circuit, isn't it, for keeping out the wall. Remember 2009, didn't we have 3 or 4 red flags in the qualifying session in 2009? We seem to have a lot of red flags in qualifying in Japan, don't we? Where the drivers are really going for it all, aren't they? And the bars are so close that if you're going to go off, you're going to go off in a big way around here. Just ask Danny Fiat, ask Hagashwari. I think Lucas de Grassi also had a smash in 2010 Eau Rouge. It's in the 130R. The list of drivers goes on and on, don't they? Fernando Alonso had a mighty overtake around there, the outside of the one, none other than Michael Schumacher. In of course, when he was in the red there, of course, that was the first of Fernando Alonso's 2 world championships as well. And to be honest, he probably should have been more than a 2-time world champion then. But if buts and maybes, isn't it, in Formula 1 there? Of course, ifs doesn't butter no parsnips, does it? Hammer Time coming into turn 1. That's more of an entry point into turn number 2 then. And now we're back on board then with the Red Bull. Hold on to your hats, everyone, as we go through the S's as well. Look at this then. And the speed just decreases, doesn't it? The more you get into the heart of the S's as well. And this final part of the S's where it seems a lot of drivers just seem to, the back end just wants to overtake the front there. Hammer Time has got that one absolutely tamed it nicely in the first Degner as well. Very nicely committed there from Hammer Time. Second Degner is a bit slower than the first. It's a bit tighter on the exit as well then. Over the cross, underneath the crossover as well, into the Kobayashi hairpin, which is not the Kobayashi hairpin. Dropping down to 50 miles an hour, second gear. Oh, he's getting a bit waggy on the old rear end then as well before accelerating away. Afternoon Mason there. A good 70 then with the old I think it's the cool kind of like the cool rock star kind of fingers, isn't it? I don't know. No, I think it's the Griezmann celebration, isn't it, where he used to do the celebration back on one of the old FIFA set. Anyway, let's Kaz saying, did you type that on my on my laptop then? So as I think it was I think the Kaz saying that nice lap ZGS as well. And we just got Hammer Tom now coming into the triangle chicane, and now over the curb set accelerates away there, and he is now coming up into the line, so out of turn 8 into turn 18, and it is pole position now 27.4 there for Hammer Time. Let's see what you Mad Bro is just starting his lap as well, so he's just on his outlap at the moment. What about Casal then? And Casal, gotta say, it's had a very lively rear end then. Look at the inside of front tyre there. Oh my word. And a really, oh god, gosh, I thought he was into the pit bar, and his car is lively. And he's 29.7 now. He did lose a bit of time, I think. Many things is 2 tenths of a second off pole position at the moment, but he is on the front row of the grid then. If the time stopped now, Duncan is gone full fastest now. So Duncan there be fairly happy with that in the Williams, but unfortunately it's the slowest of the time runners thus far into the pits. In the pits still it's Picasso and ZGS as well, going under the crossover as well, coming to the Kobayashi airpit, and we're on board now with the championship leader. Whatever happens tonight, then UMAD Bro will not lose the championship. He has got the biggest lead than he has ever had in ALR, and of course he's the first ever multiple Grand Prix winner as well. He's had 5 podiums at UMAD Bro, hasn't he? Hopefully we'll do an interview with him this week then, since I very rudely cut him off last week, but it was in the highlights package, and of course there at UMAD Bro's interview where he was just talking about his experience in ALR so far, which is a really good in-depth feature, and hopefully we'll do more of them as the season progresses, and maybe something for next year, perhaps maybe a podcast as we're going through the 130R then UMAD Bros before coming into the triangle chicane, dropping down into second gear, 50 miles an hour as well. Hammer time is gone for double the money. He is on pole position now. What about UMAD Bro? Is he going to get into it? He is a whisker, and he is on pole for this as well by half a tenth of a second now. Wow, that is quicker than you batting your eyelids there. My word, then that's ridiculously close then. Then we've got a couple of drivers then who are just long on certain, but they're just come back into the pits. Picasso is on out at the moment. Iron Knight is on at circuit, and he is in the second Williams as well. And look at that then, it's those wings are really feeling the force of this Japanese circuit. And it is not as smooth as a billiard table, is it? Now we've got Iron Knight then into the triangle chicane as well. And he's almost out of fuel there, isn't he? So he's very much as light as a feather. I wish I was as light as a feather, but Iron Knight across the line, he is full fastest on the second row of the grid. Good stuff. And here's Irvine now flying past me. What about Joseph? Joseph is now into the triangle chicane now. That's it, and he's out of it, and let's see what he can do. And Joseph goes third fastest. We're taking a look at Irvine. Look at those bright discs glowing there on car 94 up to the line, and Irvine is full fastest. You cannot separate the two Pink Panther lads, can you? Third and fourth once again, about just over a tenth of a second separates those two drivers at the moment. They are absolutely magnificent, and they're really enjoying watching those two drivers go to battle and go to work as well. At the moment they're second and third in the World Championship. They are on course for promotion into bronze for next season. Picasso very light on the throttle there. Good stuff indeed then as we accelerate away then, and now coming up into coming up into Spoon as well then. Look at that, he does it's quite a quick turn now into Spoon, isn't it, with the downforce on these cars there. There was a lot more braking, wasn't it, but that wasn't really much braking at all, was it, from Picasso. And he was, I think it was a touch of the brakes, and then he was just a feather in the throttle, wasn't he? Ignore the old flag thing. So he is one of the Williams there just crawling back to the pits there. It's Iron Knight, who is currently sixth fastest on the grid at the moment. Last time I said he was fourth. It's incredible how quickly this qualifying goes then. 5 minutes ago in this session now. Picasso there almost onto the grass. He was on the grass, wasn't he? He picked up a bit of the grass there. Picasso goes fifth fastest then. Good stuff indeed for Picasso. Less than a tenth of a second away from Irvine. So close. I'm loving this. Look at that. Also less than less than a tenth of a second again now. Oh. 300 of a second behind Irvine at the moment. That is very much nip and tuck, isn't it? In this battle for pole position supremacy here in the Japanese Grand Prix. Quite important. This circle is for pole position. Of course, we're just watching the two drivers of Joseph and Iron Knight just come back into the pits, and they're absolutely lighting, fueling these cars as light as a feather, and it's incredible. It's incredible there how much as Joseph has taken the old school pit in there, as of course the pit entry used to be before. Oh goodness me, teleported onto the track there. The pit entry used to be before the triangle chicane, didn't it? If anyone remembers that, I think it was around the 90s, wasn't it, where they, or the 2000 I think season it was, where they decided to cut the pit lane a lot more shorter there, and be coming in the pits as well, because I think the time loss for coming in the pits then was a lot shorter then, which I think possibly might have made it a multiple stop for a racer as well. So perhaps they should have kept it. I don't know. I'm just surmising here then, because my maths is not my strongest forte. As all of you are probably aware, after my diabolical botch in the Singapore Grand Prix in gold then. I've only done it twice, but unfortunately that's twice too many, really, isn't it? As you would And I think I've only ever called in ALR. I think I've only ever called like 4 or 5 world champions on my. So I suppose that's half that's half the success rate. So half is good for me. Casal then coming, and you can see that. Look at that, and that's a great shot then of going under the crossover as well. You'll be going over that crossover in just about half a minute's time then, because these Formula 1 cars are quite quick. You can say, can't you? 2 minutes ago in this session then as well. Then so here comes Casal as well. I think there's a lot of time in this Renault, isn't it? I think he's a very quick customer, isn't he? Casal is that he is in tonight then, and for the Renault team as well. He is now coming out of the out of Spoon as well, going over to support Grid Hatch as well, then coming out to the 130R as well. Let's see if he breaks or does he just stall the power. Not even a hint of a lift there. That's magnificent. You've seen the green bar on the down the right hand bottom there. It was just stuck right and full flat, wasn't it, for Casal? Not even a hint of a lift there. My word there. These are monstrous times there. Casal goes third fastest. He's a whisker away from pole position. They are starting to really concertina up now, and I'm loving this. Hammer, you mad bros on the lap then. We've got many things there just going into the crossover as well. And we have, so you mad bros right there as well. So let's stay with many things at the moment. As he is in the McLaren as well then, so let's see what he can do and accelerates away, and I think he's backed out then because he's turned his ERS off there. As we see on the graphic there, the yellow note means that the ERS is now switched completely off, so that's what many things has done here. So he's not happy with a time lap then, and I think he's now just getting out of the way of the Williams there. None of the Williams is on a quick lap at the moment, and Hammer Time's just started this lap then. You mad bros a 10th of a second down in the first sector there. Let's see what we can do in the second sector. There's a lot of time you can make up in the first sector, so but what about the second now? Now into Spoon. And look at that, then dropping down to 6th gear. Goodness me, 5th gear. I remember that was like that was only like 3rd, 4th gear when I started playing F1 around here. Oh my word, that was on the 95 game. Right, goodness gracious me then. As we just got mate saying, I bet many things knows how many things about this track. Oh, I love it there. Mate's now, good old pun there. I do love my puns. I keep them coming in, guys. As we got you mad bro out of the triangle chicane as well. He's already on pole position. Is he going to lower the bar? No, he hasn't. 8100 a second. Then slower on his time lap from earlier on there. Whiskers away then. This game is about inches, isn't it? And the Casal coming into the pits, and that's his day in qualifying done. But he's third on the grid there for the Renault driver. Magnificent stuff indeed there. Hammer Time, my word there. Colin McRae kind of drift there. He got all out of shape there, but he has lost a lot of time. He's 3/10 of a second down there for Hammer Time, but he's going for another bite of the cherry then with 30 seconds to go. What about and you mad bro is as well, 5100 a second down on the first split time then. What about the second time? We'll go to his teammate then, ZGS, who has not started his lap then, and he's given Duncan a nice slipstream, but Duncan is invalidated this time. So let's go to Iron Knight then. It's Duncan and ZGS going to get to the line there with 10 seconds to go, and they're going to have to really get on it, aren't they? They're going to have to really put the pedal down then. ZGS, I think he's done it. 3, 2, he has done it, has he? Yes, he has. I don't think Duncan has, though. Duncan's done it as well, because I think I'm behind. Now we've got to Iron Knight, who's 3/10 a second up in the second split time as well, and now into the chicane, accelerating away. Here he is, and that's it. That's all his decisions done. Then here's Iron Knight. Then he's been on pole position before. Can he do it again? He is 8th fastest tonight. Then Picasso is staying 6th fastest as well in the Mercedes. What about many things? Many things stay 7th fastest. We missed the end of his lap there. What about you mad bros on pole position there? He lowers the bar by a whisker now. He's in the 26.9s there. My goodness me, he's I gotta say, a lot of drivers there from it. And no, Irvine's on pole position by a 26.5. My goodness me. And Joseph on the final turn. Joseph is on the second on the front row of the grid. Oh gosh, they're in Hammer Time's in the pits, and Duncan's out there as well. See, just invalidated this time. What about Duncan there? Irvine is on pole position then for the Japanese Grand Prix. What can Duncan do? He's giving it all the beans and more, and as he comes out of Spoon as well. And now coming up the hill as well. We're on board now with Duncan, and he's now coming up into the 130R as well. Hang on, I've got to adjust my headpiece then. And now he's coming over the 130R as well. He's got one more decision to make. It's the braking point into the chicane. Where does he brake? Oh my goodness me then. So late on the brakes there for Duncan. Now the final turn then. He is just a whisker home from home now. He's out of the final turn. And Duncan goes 7th fastest then. But is Irvine on pole position then for the Japanese Grand Prix. And that's his third pole position since the Belgian Grand Prix. Magnificent stuff, isn't it? And there it is there. It's a racing point 1-2 in qualifying. Remember, I didn't go too well for the AlphaTauris last week there, but my goodness me, once again, the racing point are absolutely magnificent. I think that they're one of the strongest teams ever in ALR history. I'm going to have to go and find my record books out, but magnificent stuff. And they're definitely giving the Haas team from Silver last season a run for their money. But magnificent. Irvine pole position his second time on pole position, and that now equals the same amount of poles as Brooksy. Joseph on the front row as well. Joseph has never had a pole position obviously in his career, but he's on the front row here tonight. You mad bro in third with Hammer Time in fourth, then as those can never count anyone out in Cobalt, can you? Magnificent stuff indeed then. And now then, as we are coming into the start then of the start of the Japanese Grand Prix, and there it is, as we expected, as it was forecast said, the rain is coming down there from the sky, and this is going to be, oh my goodness me, this is going to be tough, isn't it? Very tough indeed. Then, so it is heavy rain as well by the looks. Then, is it going to be intermediates or wet tires? And I think it's on the borderline there, and I'm wondering, a lot of drivers there probably would be thinking about the intermediate tyres. Surely, perhaps away, Pedro. I would certainly not be going on the intermediate tyres, not in these conditions. Absolutely appalling, isn't it? See, it's really coming by, isn't it? As we are now getting ready to get going again, then as Macy said, I love to race these guys. In my opinion, they are some of the best esports racers in the world. Indeed, they are, aren't they? And yes, no, I'm really looking forward to this one as well. Of course, they've really shown the past 6 races how great they are. I know. I think that I'm expecting nothing less again. And I think those are wet tires, aren't they? So do not listen to me, chaps, because they are all on the wet tires. And for the start of the Grand Prix, no one is going on the intermediate tires. And I think if the game puts you on the wet tires, then but perhaps the drivers probably look at that is absolute track is absolutely saturated, isn't it? So it is the wet tires, isn't it? And look at that, Irvine struggling before he's even got into the S as well. This is going to be a horrific experience for the drivers, isn't it, here tonight? And you're going to have to use all of your skill and then some, isn't it, to navigate yourself through this one. And this is going to be a tough one, isn't it? To very much get yourselves around here. Then let's go for the grid chart from the back. Then 17 cars around the Japanese Grand Prix International Race Course. Kausa has been disqualified there for being a naughty little Renault there, so that's not very good. Irvine's on pole position his second time of his career with Joseph alongside him on row 1 then. Going into turn 1 then, the racing point's going to be playing a bit of games then with this weather condition then. I think they might not be going in there as steaming hot as they might have done in the dry then, and it's not just a sprinkle of rain then that Brooksy may have was surmising or may have potentially thinking about. It is absolute a deluge, isn't it? Anyway, going back to the grid. We got Umad Brown for position. He is the World Championship leader. Whatever happens tonight, then, he will still be the champion. Remember, he is a quick customer, isn't he? If we've got a couple more drivers disqualified, he's a quick customer, isn't he, in the wet weather conditions there. Remember the Hungarian Grand Prix Masterclass there. How can anyone forget that? That was a magnificent performance there from Umad Brown in 4th. Hammer Time in 5th. Kausa in 6th position. I think this is Kausa's debut tonight. Then it's a good stuff indeed there for the Renault driver. Unfortunately, hasn't taken part in the formation lap. Picasso in 6th position, Duncan in 7th with many things in 8th position there. Iron Knight there is in 9th position, ZGS in 10th position, the second Alfa Romeo. Jinner, who's on the front row last time out, he's in 11th position tonight. Kaz in 12th position in the Ferrari, Cosmo in 13th, Scooby Stew in 14th position there. In 15th is Gaz. I've got to say, Kaz and Gaz there. Oh, goodness me, it's just too much for my little brain. 16th is Stars. 17th position is Brooksy then. And they're on board with Brooksy now, and he's been on pole position twice then. Of course, unfortunately, the game decided to disqualify him for parking in a difficult part there of the circuit. But having said that, it was Codemasters, not Brooksy there. So Brooksy had a very unfair crack, didn't he, of the whip in the qualifying. He had no crack of the whip at all, did he, in qualify? But Brooksy in 17th position there, can he get some points on the board there for the AlphaTauri driver, as he is now just warming up those tyres. And there's a Red Bull off in front of us, so that's Cosmo. And I would say that the going off on the formation lap there, remember Coulthard done it in a completely dry Italian Grand Prix, and also Alan Prost did it in the San Marino Grand Prix, wasn't it 1990 or 1991 perhaps there? Gordon saying, ooh, that is a wet track, it really is indeed then. And now we're on board then with Brooksy then, as he is lining up on the grid. He is 17th on the grid then for the Japanese Grand Prix. Look at the water being thrown up in the air there for those wet tyres. It is ridiculous, isn't it? And now then, the lights are on them, but of course they're not going out just yet. This is the onboard footage sent from Irvine's checkpoint as well. Now it's go! Oh my goodness me, I'm not ready! And it's Irvine who gets away just about, and they're slithering around. They're slithering around there, and that's a great start for New Man Pro, and Hammer Time has gone through as well. That's the second racing point has been eclipsed. And New Man Pro's going on the outside, but he's got some traction. He's trying to go on the outside. Irvine, oh my goodness me, he's going for the lead. He's going for the lead. The SSN Skirmisher dropped down the order. And he had so and look at this, New Man Pro just pushing him up the hill. He's got so much more confidence, and he's only just gone through a couple of turns. That is absolutely magnificent. That's absolutely amazing stuff there in these difficult conditions here. Oh, a brilliant stuff indeed. That is talented indeed from all these drivers. How they go off the grid there, and no instance. Brooks, he's up into 11th. He is steaming through the field like a hot knife through butter, and he is up into 11th position now. He's 3/10 second away from a point. And Jinner is up 3 positions as well. Magnificent stuff indeed there as we're going into the hairpin as well. Here are the top 3 then. Joseph has dropped down 2 positions. He just didn't have enough traction, did he, off the line there? And he was just dropping down the order, wasn't he? He was just going down. And now here's Hammer Time then. And you Mad Bro's gone from attack to defence now, hasn't he? In a twinkling of an eye. Brooks is all over the back of Iron Knight then. Hammer Time having a look on the inside. Nothing doing just yet. Is this track going to dry before the last, before the race ends? I don't think it is. I think we're going to be on the wet or the intermediate tyres for the majority of the race. And rain is here for the next 20 minutes, isn't it? At least here tonight then in Japan then. As they're climbing up the hill then. Hammer Time and you Mad Bro is getting a bit dicey there when they're coming out of Spoon as well. They're into the 130R. Oh my goodness me, look at that. Look right. It's you Mad Bro. That's a Mercedes off. There's Picasso off in the background. As we're going into the triangle chicane as well. And Picasso, is he survived another day then? He is dropping down the order then. I'll have a look, see what's happening in a minute. Picasso's come back on in 8th position, but it looks like you Mad Bro is now then is up into down into 3rd position. But look at him, he's steaming back through you Mad Bro. This is magnificent. Brooks is up into 9th position already. This is a cracking start to the Japanese Grand Prix. However, time has gone into 2nd position, going into turn 1 then. Oh, fantastic start here. Magnificent start indeed then. Absolutely, that is absolutely mesmerised indeed. Really good stuff there. Brooks is now into 8th position as well. Picasso dropping down the order. Has he got damage then? As he had some issues. Jinner is dropping down the order as well. I think Mason just commented about Jinner and Brooksy. Unfortunately, Jinner, who had a great start, has dropped back down to where he started, but he's still in this. Picasso's off, and oh gosh, and Picasso's gone off there, and unfortunately that was oh goodness me, and so we've also got Gaz taking evasive action as well, and he's at tricky conditions there. Picasso was half spin as he got I think he's got damage. We also seen damage off Jinner's car as well, perhaps, and let's take a look then. And Jinner hasn't got any damage at all then. Goodness me, then that's a very Joseph dropping down. Joseph struggling in these conditions there. Look, you Mad Bro's back up in his second position there. My goodness me, many things is Joseph are fighting as well. Yellow flags then, as we got some issues there, and the yellow flags in the hairpin there. What's going on there? As Cosmo is going through there. I think Jinner's dropping down to the back of the field. He has dropped down to the back of the field in the AlphaTauri, and Jinner's amazing start is not gone too well, and that's a McLaren there who's gone very, very wide there. Alice Spoon as well. Oh, incredible stuff indeed then. So let's go to the tires. They're all on the wet tires at the moment. No one has come in the pitch yet. Irvine has got a 1.5 second lead there. No DRS in these conditions just yet because it's too dangerous for the too dangerous for the DRS at the moment. That Renault of Kalsa is going to be very strong in these conditions there, because his car was I got to say, the back of that car is wagging like a happy dog, wasn't it, in the qualifying session there? But Kalsa's doing a good job at the moment. Hammer Thomas at the fast off the race. Goodness me, he's taken out almost 7/10 to a second. Brooks is flying as well. He's up to 8th position there as we're going into turn 1, but no dice at the moment. Look at this as the field is now starting to Constantine up, and Duncan is all over the back of many things, and many things has dropped to 8/10 of a second back at the moment. Magnificent bit of driving from every driver up and down the field here tonight. It's absolutely sweet stuff indeed there. We only had one incident there in these appalling conditions there. I tip my hats off to all these drivers that are magnificent stuff indeed. And look at this then, is Brooksy trying to go up and under of Kalstra at the moment. That's not the case but the new Mad Bro, and oh my goodness me, I struggled to get through that corner on my own, and oh gosh, they're almost going free ride through there. Oh my word, absolute chaos here tonight. I'm loving it. Then this is a magnificent start to the Japanese Grand Prix. That free of this race then. Now Hammer Time is he letting him through there, or has he got some issues? Hammer Time's got some issues on the grass, and Joseph is going on the inside. He's up in a third position, passes the Red Bull driver, and that's how quickly you go from hero to zero in this game, can't you? And unfortunately Hammer Time, well, I wouldn't say he's a zero there, as many things has now passed as well. Hammer Time is on the outside. He's dropped from 2nd to 5th there in the Hammer comes on, oh gosh, and Hammer, many things is off the circuit there as Hammer Time lost the car, and now many things there is off on the outside there. How is he kept in a straight line? But many things is going to run out of road. He has run out of road. Then Duncan is up in a full position as well. How did many things not go in the wall then? How did Hammer not go in the wall? Oh, brilliant stuff indeed. Yellow flags in the background there. One of the Haas cars is having some issues there. As look at that, and as we now got many things who's now dropped behind Kalsa as well. And so Kalsa up in, oh goodness me, many things is back up the inside. Kalsa, oh, someone's hit the back there. Who is that then? I'm not sure who that was then, but look, it's Brooksy. He's over the side finish there. Did he give him a bit of a nudge perhaps then? I'm not too sure. As we come out to the final turn, and now as we accelerate away, Brooksy is now alongside. No, yes, Brooksy's alongside where many things are going into turn one there. Hold your breath. Oh my word there. And Brooks is on the inside. He passes many things. Many things is dropping down the order. He's on the outside now. He's on the outside. Oh goodness me. Does Kalstra see him? Oh my god. Oh my goodness me. It's a mash. It's a crash. I don't know what it is. It's out. Kalstra's out of the Grand Prix. Oh my word. Ooh. Is it a safety car? It is a safety car, goodness me. So we got a safety car, Burt Mylander coming out now. Oh, Jenner's off the track as well. Oh gosh, Sarah, no, Torrance, gotta say, I'm actually quite happy about the safety car because, I was running out of steam there. So we've lost Kalsa already. What a shame there. It was getting perilously close. And up until that point, drive-through penalty there for Cosmo for speeding under the safety car. That's a slam dunk, unfortunately, there for Cosmo. And he's going to have to serve that when the safety car comes in. Up until that point then, it was going magnificent, wasn't it, how they were driving, keeping it on the island now in these wet weather conditions. I got a hairball. And, there we go. And many things in Kalsa there came a bit to blows there, didn't they, unfortunately then. But look at the rain there at the moment now. Is it easy enough? I don't think it is. There's water all over the show here in Japan. It's now, gosh, I'm perspirating already. We've only done 4 laps. Is anyone going to come in the pit said, I don't think it's worth it, is it really? How long are these wet tires going to last for? Is the question now, isn't it? I got to say, if you keep the wet tires in a sensible operating window, you can probably get into around lap 13, perhaps, and if you don't wear them out. So perhaps then if the rain continues at this intensity, then maybe you might be able to get them half distance. I think it's too early to come in the pits just yet. But let's see what the drivers do then. Irvine is staying out. There's anyone else coming in the pits that I don't think they are at the moment. I think Joseph, who had a pretty disappointing start to say the least, is back in the third position there. So he's going to be quite happy with that. Only one retirement so far. And only one retirement so far, which is unfortunately is Kalsa, as many things, and Kalsa came to blows at this turn here. That's why we got Burnt Mylander out. He is parked at the exit of turn at number 2. Then there he is, just at the top of the screen as well. Into the pits, there comes Picasso. Picasso was very high up the grid there, wasn't it? Unfortunately, he's damaged the car as well. Look at the rain. The rain is horizontal. It is coming down in steroids at the moment, isn't it? It is absolutely difficult conditions out there. Picasso's got a new set of wet boots, and he's out of the pits now in car 21. He's got a new nose code as well on the Mercedes, and he is now just on the pit lane at speed limiter as well. Gaz coming in the pits as well. We didn't see what happened to Gaz then, but we've seen a grey car on the track map that was facing the wrong way. So now he's in the pits as well as the Haas mechanics go to work. And Haas have got no points yet so far in at Cobalt then, so he needs to Gaz and Stalls put that right here tonight then. They've been very unlucky, haven't they, as drivers said. Tonight may be the night then. Jenner is now going to 15th position as well. Brooksy is up to 6th. My goodness me, he doesn't need qualifying. He was taking that last to first challenge quite seriously indeed, wasn't he? Absolutely incredible stuff. Oh my word there. And Serge was saying, great driving considering the conditions. And yeah, that was a brilliant start to the race, but unfortunately, but Serge Rush did say it's getting a bit messy now. And many things had its own track there, had its own racing track. He did indeed. And Mason saying, yeah, it's getting wetter and wetter out there. It's absolutely appalling conditions, isn't it? There's moment of time and very, very difficult indeed. That as we're just on board now with Gaz, that who's just coming up to the back of the field. Then, so we're on lap 5 of the Grand Prix at the moment. Then. So the rain is it's getting a bit lighter, is it, from that scene, and it's on the far part of the course. It may be. It's quite an elongated circuit, isn't it? A bit like France there. The course is very much stretched out, isn't it? So we've got Irvine then, who is in the Grand Prix, and I've got to say, you mad bro, I've got to say, for flash, it did look quicker, didn't it? But I think Irvine just had the consistency at the moment. So that is all the ingredients you need then for a classic Japanese Grand Prix. Good stuff indeed then. So then let's take stock. We're on lap 5 out of 27. Irvine leads. You mad bros in second position. Joseph is in third. Duncan Duncan is 4th position at the moment, and Hammer Time 5th with Brooksy in 6th. Many things are 7th there. 8th position is Iron Knight. Cosmo's got a drive-through penalty. He's down in 9th. Scuba Shoe on a good start in 10th. ZGS in 11th position. Kaz is in the pits in 12th position there. 13th position is Styles. Picasso in 14th. Jinner is in 15th position there. 16th is Kaz. And remember, Kaz did this. Look, I think the Cavs may have made an absolute incredible decision here. Remember, in Hungary, there is Gaz, I think, was trying to second-guess the weather, and it didn't pay off too well, did it? But here tonight, then, he might be pulled off an absolute storm of a decision there. He's on the intermediate tyres, and so is Jinner as well. And so Jinner also on the intermediate tyres, and there is still a lot of water out there, then. But let's see how those intermediate tyres can do that. Is any of the front runners going to come in the pits then? Because it has eased off quite a bit now, but the water needs to start draining pronto. The Suzuka International Racecourse, so it's very good for draining water, isn't it? Because, of course, we have a lot of harsh weather around here over the years, don't we? Where, remember, we've had at least 3 qualifying sessions that have been delayed or abandoned, haven't they, over the course of years? I think it was 2019 now, which, of course, Gordo reminded me the other night. And, of course, we also had the 2004 and 2010 qualifying sessions as well. So, yes, so we've had a lot of sessions that have been very much to have been thrown away on Saturday because of these rain conditions. As Hammer Time and Duncan get a bit too close there for comfort. So just watching Jinner at the moment then. So yeah, as long as he stays on the racing line, look at how much standing water is on the exit of Degna 2. And on the outside there, goodness me then, that water may need to, as long as he doesn't get on top of like that, as long as he doesn't get on the top like that, he should be fine and dandy then. Good stuff indeed. Mason saying that's a genius move by Kaz, but I could be wrong then. I think that you may be right, Mason, because I think that the weather has started to ease off a bit, and I think the Jinner and Kaz may be very much on the right track here. Of course, there is only one track, of course, here in Suzuka, but I think many things there was experiments on a couple of them, because look at that then, we could see there were some big spots, wasn't there, just a moment or two ago. Now look at that, it's little spots of rain and the intensity has dropped down, but there's still a lot of water on the track, isn't there? Now Irvine is the de facto safety car. He is going to control the pace then until the start finish line. No one could overtake him till the start finish line. Nobody. So when is he going to drop the hammer then? And here we go then. Here we're back racing then. And look at this. And you man bro is very close to the back of him. And everyone is trying to break the slipstream coming down into turn 1 there. And into the pits. Here comes Scuba Shoot and Picasso as well then. So both the Mercedes drivers are in the pits. That's not good because Picasso is going to be held up. Hammer Time is having a favour. 4th position. Passes Duncan. Duncan has gone wide. Then Brooksy is now all over the back as well. Look at these top 6, 7, 8, 9 drivers. Magnificent, isn't it? Brilliant stuff indeed. So Scooby Shoe and Picasso there have both come in the pits, and both Mercedes and were thinking the same thing, and that's really hurt both of them. Unfortunately then Mercedes are very good at stacking the cars, but they were too close on this occasion there, weren't they? Hammer Time was getting a bit wary, didn't he, coming out of the Dunlop corner as well. And now on board now then with Hammer Time as well, going for the second Degna, and you can see then even though it's stopped, even though it's very lightly raining now, look how much spray is on this camera here in the Red Bull. It's absolute a deluge out there. Oh my word, they're almost going into the back of Joseph. Look at those break this glow now. Look at that, almost as hot as the sun now. I don't know how hot the sun is, but I'm sure it's much hotter than that. But it is quite warm, isn't it, to say the least, which is the understatement of the season. Oh my goodness, and look at this, it's going on the inside the spoon. Oh, not quite. I think Verstappen and Vettel came to blows there, didn't they, in 2019, if I'm not very much mistaken. You man bros had a great run out of spoon now. He has taken the lead of the Japanese Grand Prix. He's going for 3 Grand Prix win in a row, and he's going for the hat-trick here. Everyone's dropping down to the second position, and remember, the top 3 in this race, also the top 3 in the World Championship as well then. So it is all going fine and dandy still, but of course Irvine and Joseph want to win the Grand Prix, and then Irvine went to the back there, if you mad bro. Look at you mad bro. Oh, and the racing points there, of course they're and look at that. Oh no, it has gone majorly wrong between Hammer Time and Irvine now. Oh gosh, and Irvine now, who's on pole position. It's the curse of the pole position. It's a virtual safety car in this race then. Oh my goodness me. And unfortunately, wrong place, the wrong time. There was there's Irvine. It's Irvine now. Is damaged. Let's take a look. He is damaged as well. You Hammer Time and Irvine were two quick cookies at this race. I think the only lucky thing, the only saving grace I would say is perhaps that they might be able to go on the intermediate tyres from here, but that is not good at all, is it? From both those drivers, both those top range drivers then in this in this Cobalt League there. Unfortunately, they came a bit unstuck there. Oh my gosh, there, Duncan was a unfortunate victim as well. He has got damage on the Williams there. That's a lot of damage as well. What about Brooksy, who's come from 17th on the grid there? He has got damage. There's a lot of damaged cars out there now, isn't there? Oh, goodness me. I know this is, oh, good. Drive-through, oh, it's the man who's second in the World Championship. The man who's second on the road as well has got a drive-through penalty. Duncan is a very graciously moved out of the way there. So good stuff indeed there for Duncan. Look at this, that is now his teammate Iron Knight is going on the inside then as well. Both Williamsons there getting a bit too frosty there. Oh my goodness me. But one is limping at the moment there. Seriously saying I feel bad for Irvine there. Yes, what a shame there for Irvine. We've got a Mercedes having some issues in the S as well. Fingers Picasso. ZGS getting past that is Duncan is dropping down the order. Look at this hammer time now. It's going through then. And of course he has not got damage there. We got Jinner is up the inside as well. Of course, the highest intermediate run at the moment is Kaz. It's Kaz as Brooksy is having a look at many things as well. They're side by side going into the 130R. Oh my word then. And look, I think many things there fought better off it. But the problem with that is that now we've got some Iron Knights all over the back of him as well. Is the race leader going to come in the pit? He is in the pit then because I think his main rivals there have all had some issues, haven't they, at the start when the safety cars come in then. And many things is going to be leading the Grand Prix. You mad bro in the pits then. So he is coming in the pits on the race leader. He's now going to throw on those intermediate tyres. There he is. He's in and out, shaking all about that. Joseph Air is just serving his drive-through penalty. He's going to be kicking himself for that then. And now he's basically a pit stop behind now the man who was challenging for the Grand Prix win. What a shame there from you, mad bro. Cosmo, who's still on the wet tyres there. Duncan in the pits as well. And so we've got a lot of activity. There's Irvine, the pole there. I think it's the curse of the pole position this season, isn't it? Goodness me. Many things leads the Grand Prix. Iron Knight second. CGS in third position. The top four haven't stopped for the is stayed out as well. Both Red Bulls have stayed out then. I wonder if that is to do with the car just not preferring not liking those intermediate tires as much then. I'm not sure. Jinner is the highest of the intermediate runners so far. He's got a 3-second penalty for his troubles now, so that's not good, is it, for Jinner, but he's on the right tyres now, and he's going to be leading the Grand Prix when all this shakes out then. Magnificent start into this race here tonight then. It's been a very wet race indeed, you mad bro. Who's that off? That's Gaz off in the background there. And Gaz is on the wet tyre still, you mad bro. It's all on the back of Joseph as well. Joseph, of course, there, who hasn't come the pitch yet, so he is on the Gaz. Has got a 3-second penalty. Joseph, who is oh goodness me, who hasn't come the pitch yet for the intermediate tyres. He's going on the outside. Oh my goodness me, oh gosh, oh my goodness me. What a drift there from you, mad bro. Oh my word. And you, mad bro, now in his second position as well. My goodness me, that's what oh gosh, he normally sits back and wait, doesn't he, you mad bro? But he knows that he needs to get on with it tonight with Kaz and Jinner, who's on the preferred tyres right from the get-go. There's a Haas car right off the circuit. It's Spoon there, and Gaz is right off there having some issues with Fernando Alonso crashed there as well, didn't he? Back in in practice sometime, I can't remember what year. Coming across the line, and Jinner is now leading the Grand Prix. Second position is Kaz at the moment, and they have absolutely nailed the strategy. Spot on so far, and the only problem is that Jinner has a 3-second penalty. He's also gone wide as well. He's onto the damper part of the circuit there, and he's not going to get much grip out there, is he? And he's in no man's land then. And you mad bro, many things come out of the pits, but look at this, and it is Styles up in the 4th position there. He has nailed it. Scooby Shoo, where is he? He's in 6th position at the moment then. And now Iron Knight 7th position, Brooksy in 8th position then, so he's back into 8th. CGS in 9th position there, and oh goodness me then, so this is going to be an action-packed race, and Kaz is the last driver who is not coming to the pits then, and throw on thrown on those intermediate tyres then, so throw on the wet tyres then, Gaz said, oh, gosh, we've got 17 more laps to go in this race. I'm absolutely knackered in this race. Oh my goodness. So then at the moment it's now starting to spread out slightly, isn't it? So the gap at the front now is 1.1 seconds. At the moment, no, Jinner does have the advantage, of course, though, because Kaz has the advantage because Jinner has got a 3-second penalty. So Kaz at the moment is technically leading this race. So he had a good race in Singapore as well. Kaz did. He should have and could have got at least a hatful of points then, maybe 10 or even 12. And we got McLaren there right underneath the rear wing of Styles then. And here is the McLaren now then. He's going into Spoon then. But I think that is not going to be a very good idea, is it, for many things. Many things is looking at strong at the moment. It's in the McLaren. And now look at this as he comes out from underneath the rear wing of Styles. And he's up into fourth position. Styles dropping down to fifth in the Haas car on the intermediate tires. And there's a long way to go though. And I think Styles there is doing a good job running. He hasn't scored any points so far in the championship so far. Scooby Stew almost off the circuit. I know Brooksy's on the inside into the triangle chicane. Oh my word there. Brooksy back it out there. ZGS is now going to be very interesting now, isn't it? Because now it's a difficult thing. If you don't get the pass done, the car behind you is going to be on you in a flash. And that's exactly what ZGS is doing at the moment. But he is now a second back. We're coming across the line once again. And look at how much the wheel tracks are now starting to be visible on the track itself. And so that is showing that the rain is getting lighter, which means that we are getting closer to the slick tires. We're not nowhere near the slick tires yet then. But remember that the rain is easing off then, and it's meant to completely stop in the 20 minutes after the race starts in Southend. We are not there or thereabouts yet, and I would say it's probably in the next couple of laps, so we're keeping an eye on that. Kaz has got some speed in that Ferrari though, isn't he? He's all over the back of Jenner as well. We're keeping an eye on that. We're keeping an eye on this battle at the moment between Brooksy, Scooby Stew and Iron Knight as well. Iron Knight is all over the back of Scooby Stew. Look at those brake discs gluing on that Williams car, really pushing on, isn't he? They fly past us under the crossover and coming into the hairpin as well. Scooby Stew on the inside, whereas Brooksy is staying up back at the moment now. And you mad bro is the Kaz that who was pushing with against Jinner. I think he's now been distracted by you mad bro, because you mad bro is running into the rear wing. He's not anymore. He's alongside. He passes, and a Kaz dropping down into third position. So you mad bro is now charging back through the field. Charging back up to first position, which is where he was there before the start of before everyone came into the pits and throwing the intermediate tires on board now with the Williams car. We're coming up the hill once again. There's Stars in the foreground. Then we've got Scuba Stew. Then we've got this big conga line here as we fly past us now and going into the triangle chicane once again. And Jenner leads them by a second away from New Mad Bros. Less than a second already. New Mad Bros so good in these conditions, isn't he? We got our new Rainmaster, aren't we, in ALR? He is magnificent. Many things to set the fast lap of the race. Yellow flags then is Gaz is having some issues down the Kobayashi hairpin. Unfortunately, Brooksy is really putting on a spurt at the moment, but I think the start-finish straight is not long enough at the moment. But Iron Knight then, was he drifting wide then? He is trying to go up and under there, back on board now, but Iron Knight then is lost a bit of momentum now because Scooby Stew parked his car in the absolute pristine position there. Fantastic stuff. Yellow flag in one, and what's gone on at one there, and Hammer Time is dropping down the order then, as Hammer Time is a ghost, is he? I'm not sure if he's a ghost then. So Hammer Time now he's on the outside of Joseph, and Joseph is now up in 11th position. Remember the racing points there were doing all right then, weren't they? Well, they were on the front row, weren't they? But unfortunately, that's not happened tonight. My goodness me! Hammer Time is very much pushing Joseph, isn't he, to the edge of the limits and beyond. I know. What about this battle here? Oh my word! That door's going to be slammed shut. Gaz has got a 10-second penalty. Unfortunately, I think that Gaz is having a bit of a nightmare in this race, and he is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Jinner is now a 3/10 of a second away at the moment. You Mad Bros now. It's now safety car. There's a safety car. What is occurring? I'm just having a look on the track map, and what's that? Oh my goodness me! Jitter's around. What has happened there? And what about you Mad Bro? Is you Mad Bro? He is. I'm not sure. Jenner is in major troubles here. Oh gosh, there he's lost the whole of the wing section. We got another safety car in the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh my word! There in the 130R as well. This is where we've had some very. Oh no, and he's in the barrier, he's out of the race, and oh goodness me, and oh gosh, there, and Stars on to take evasive action there. The car is right in the middle of the track there, isn't it? Oh goodness me, this is perilous indeed. That, and now is ZGS there also having to take evasive action as well. Jinner in the barrier, out of the race then. Unfortunately, David Coulthard and Farford crashed in the entry coming into the pits before, so he's in fine company with that. Mason saying unlucky Jinner then, as I'm not sure. Unfortunately, is he had issues there, the 1-3R. There's a part of his debris of his front wing. And we've lost 3 cars in this race as well. Bro leads the Grand Prix. Kaz in second, and many things up in the third. Then Styles back up in the fourth. Then good stuff indeed there for Styles. Into the pits. There comes Picasso then. So he is going for a fresh set of intermediate tyres. This is a shrewd move now, isn't it, for the Mercedes mechanics then? So he's going out fresher intermediate tyres if we don't get onto the dry tyres then. So Picasso could be very much a thorn in the side of the top 10 points runners at the moment there. So we'll keep an eye on that one later on. Then that is a long-term might be a long-term promotion there from Picasso as he's coming out of the pits now. So Picasso then, we'll keep an eye on that. Going back to the grid then, Styles in second, fourth position, then Scooby Stew in fifth, and he's got a 3-second penalty. Unfortunately, Scooby Stew has Iron Knight in sixth with Brooks in seventh at the moment, and they can't get past Scooby Stew. He's defending beautifully. ZGS in eighth position. Irvine is back in the points, and along with Joseph in 10th position as well. It was getting very hair and scare between Hammer Time and Joseph. Duncan in 11th, Hammer Time in 11th, Duncan in 12th position, Cosmo in 13th position in the second Red Bull, and Picasso is in 14th position now, and just stop then and throw on a new set of intermediate tyres then. Good stuff indeed. And then now he's catching up. Then the retirement, so Jinner out of the Grand Prix. We've got green lights on for the safety car for some reason. So we have got 3 cars out of the race. Jinner out of the race then. Shame now for Jinner. And we've also lost Gaz as well, having a nightmare race. And Casal also out there. Goodness me, we've had some quite action-packed opening 13 laps or so here in Japan, haven't we? And we are going, I think that we ain't even at half distance yet. So we got a lot more action to come as well. I wonder what the weather is doing then. It looks like it's getting brighter, isn't it? So we are expecting the rain to stop any time in the next couple of minutes or so then, and then how long is it before the track dries out then? The drainage around here, as we already mentioned there, is quite good, so I am expecting, if it does stop now or in the next lap or in the next couple of laps, then I am expecting them to go onto the dry tyres, and that might be the likes of Scooby Stew, who didn't use any soft tyres in qualifying too. That could be a crucial part in this race then in terms of strategy then. So very much stick with this one, folks, and this is going to be a cracker to the end of the race as well. Look, the pit windows open then for those intermediate tyres, and of course F1 Insight powered by AWS then. Unfortunately I don't want to really think about them at the moment then, as I've made a really big boo-boo. Right, we are now just over half distance then of the race, so safety cars out. Hopefully we'll be back in this lap, then we can go back racing once again then, with half the race still to play for here in Japan then, so do not go anywhere, folks. Then this is going to be a cracker, I have no doubt about that. You mad bros going for a hat-trick of Grand Prix wins here in Cobalt, and goodness me then, and he is very much becoming a modern day benchmark in ALR Cobalt at the moment. Fantastic stuff indeed. That the first man then to get 2 Grand Prix wins. He could be the first man to get 3 Grand Prix wins in ALR Cobalt. Magnificent stuff indeed then. And he will be extended in the World Championship with both his nearest championship rivals of Joseph and Irvine having a pretty difficult day, but they are still in the points, of course, so the racing point team are, and that's a crucial part of the point system these days, isn't it, where the points in Formula 1, ALR, and of course many other forms of FIA motorsport is now for, of course, 25 for a win, and all the way down to 10th position and 1 point there, of course. I think it's more or less, isn't it? It's the same in WRC, if I'm not very much mistaken, or it used to be. I must admit, I haven't watched WRC in a very, very long time. I'm saying that Umad Bro equals 2020 Lewis there. He certainly is in the wet, isn't he? I've got to say, Umad Bro is absolutely fantastic. He really is indeed then. So we're now then getting, hopefully, we get a safety car coming in. Indeed, Liz, we're getting ready to go racing once again. The safety car lights are off. We got a crocodile, and here is Umad Bro then. So he is very much got the bit between his teeth, and he would like the checker flag to fall now, but of course if it does fall now, we'll only get half points, everyone, so we don't want it to fall now. But you mad bro probably like it to fall now with in the next 14 laps or so, because then he could be the race winner. But this is only halfway through the story. We have got a lot more still to play for. You mad bro then is just slowing the pack now he is getting away then, and he is now go, and what about Kaz then, who's already been swamped then by many things down a great race at the moment, and he is now up into second position, and he passes Kaz from down the third then, they're already 1 point. Oh, many things are drifting off the circuit there, and Kaz as and Iron Knight also off as well, and it looks like some drivers haven't got their brakes up to temperature, have they, and they've just floated off into turn 1, and Brooksy said thank you very much. He's now been a 5th position. Same with Kaz as well. Very, oh, goodness me. And Brooks is looking quick, isn't he? He's only scored once in this championship campaign so far, which is back in the British Grand Prix. Can he get some more points out? He has won a race as well, the British Grand Prix. And look at Scooby Shooter and getting a bit wayward there. Coming out of Dunlop as well. And now coming into Degner 1, now into Degner 2. The gap at the front is up to 2.4 seconds, 2.5 seconds, and my word there, the gap is climbing and climbing now. Hammer time then alongside Joseph. Has he got by Joseph? He has indeed. That Joseph went too hard. Goodness me there. I thought that was a late lunch there. Safety car. Why is there a safety car? Just taking a look. Why is there a safety car? I'm not too sure why there's a safety car. I have no idea what is going on there. But yeah, there's a safety car for some reason. I'm trying to work out why it is then. And is there some debris that's been left down somewhere or something? Oh, well, Picasso's got some debris there, but I'm not sure why there's a safety car at this stage of proceedings. And this is very unusual indeed here in Japan. And I don't see any reason why there'd be a safety car. As yeah, there was a bit of debris off of Picasso's car, but I don't see what the first major incident on it. So that's very unusual. We've got 3 safety cars in the opening couple of laps here in a Cobalt. Then have no idea why it's a safety car, but it is a safety car. Is anyone going to come in the pits now? This is a golden opportunity then to come in the pits and throw on a set of new intermediate tires if the rain doesn't stop at all. And at the moment, and Kazed is very much right alongside you, my brother. Picasso will be in the pits there once again. I think this will be Picasso's 4th or 5th pit stop then. Well, no, he's staying out at the moment, Picasso is then. Duncan's in the pits though, so Duncan in the pits then. So what's going on with Duncan? He's done 6 hours on the intermediate tires. This is a strategy call. Williams Mechanics and down the far end of the pit lane. And let's see what they're going to put on then. It is still the intermediate tyres, and there's no nose cone change here then for car 29, so he's in and out. That's a strategical call there for the Williams team, and he has come back out. He's on a fresh set of new intermediate boots, and so Duncan, like Picasso, there could be a major player at the later stage of this race. Then, of course, if those intermediate tyres, they can stay in the operating window. You mad bro still leads the race, and with just 12 laps to go. I say just 12 laps. So we've had 3 safety cars so far. Bert Mylander is doing his mileage tonight. Oh, magnificent stuff indeed then. Absolutely oh gosh, he's been absolutely being run again. He's putting his really putting his paces in, isn't he? Arsenal leading the game against Chelsea, by the way. It's 1-0. Fantastic stuff. Anyway, into the Kobayashi Airport. Hopefully it'll be a quick safety car, and then we'll be back going once again then, because I'm not really sure why he had a safety car in the first place. So that's very unusual. I sitting there, I'm thinking that Picasso had a bit of debris, but I don't know why he had a safety car. And but there he is. So Bert Mylander is leading the charge then, so he's done just as many laps as as our race leader. You man, Bert, at the moment. Goodness me. I gotta say, I hope they fueled up that safety car quite heavy tonight then. Oh my word there. He's doing a lot of laps then. So then we're back on board the race leader. As we already mentioned, he's the championship leader by 36 points then from Joseph in second position. Joseph is not even scoring at the moment, so he's really extending that lead, isn't he? Goodness me then. He's already over a win in front of everyone else, you mad bros. He's really commanding the Cobalt Championship, the first ever Cobalt Championship. And you mad bro is really looking quite impressive, to say the very least, isn't he? In the Alfa Romeo, as we got a safety car running, and there's Kaz, who is behind it now. We've got many things as well. He's on a great race at the moment. Many things. There's really good stuff indeed. In the third position, and Styles. So far, Styles and Scuba Street, my drivers of the day, absolutely cracking stuff indeed from those drivers. Brooks has come from 17th on the grid to move up into 6th position now. And unfortunately, the 2 racing points have really struggled in these wet weather conditions. Into the pits there comes Picasso and Adams, and Picasso there, I think, was waiting an extra lap, and now he's thrown on another nose cone as well. Picasso is. I think that this is his 3rd pit stop of the race so far. Picasso is goodness me then. So he's on a 3-stop strategy now. Hopefully he won't have to come in again then. And he is now. I think that should be him suited and booted. There's actually 4 stops then for Picasso. He should be suited and booted now for the rest of the race then for Picasso in the Mercedes, and kind of get some points then on the board for his team then. So in terms of the positions gained, then Kaz has gone up 10 positions. Styles at 12. Brilliant stuff, and Brooks up 11 positions. Absolutely magnificent stuff. Unfortunately, it's the 2 racing points that have dropped down the most in terms of 9 spots. Then it was still left on the race, unfortunately, for those 2 drivers. Hammer Tom also moving down 5 positions. Picasso on board with him now, down 8 positions. Duncan also down 6 positions, but they do have fresher intermediate tyres for the remainder of the race then. Now then is so we're just hopefully that safety car come back in, and then the rain is still coming down then, so perhaps then it's I was expecting the rain would have stopped by now, but look at that then, we do have a bit of clear sky right in front of us there into Degna 2 there, which is on board with Picasso. So yes, so we got blue sky coming to the Suzuka circuit, but will it be here in time to be a factor in the Grand Prix? I'm not sure if it will be now then. It does dry quite quickly around here, but I have a feeling then that we won't be seeing the dry tires in the race, but that is probably my famous last words, because whatever I say, the opposite happens then. Safety car should be in then, it's not, well, I hope so. Anyway, we can have some more racing laps as well. I've had a lot of racing laps behind the safety car tonight. Hopefully this is going to be the last one then, and we're going to be back racing again then. I think this is a very cheap safety car. I still don't have no idea why we got a safety car, as you man bro is a straight line in that. There he is then, so the lights are off again. Deja vu for us, isn't it? Oh my word. Now you man bro then is he's going to back up the field once again. Many things there went straight. Look at the debris on the right hand side. That is from that's from a Ginner's car when he went off in the 130 yard end. So that was unfortunate for Ginner. Then he made him and Kaz made the absolute perfection of strategy calls, didn't they? Unfortunately, Ginner out of the Grand Prix there just a couple of laps later. So when is you mad bro gonna go? Can many things there and Iron Knight slowed the car down at this time. Then they were back racing them once again, and look at this and severe collision there. As what's happened there is a severe collision there with Scooby Stew, and oh goodness me, and debris all over the circuit. We got four breaths going down into turn one. What a shot! And look at this then, and now it's the CGS on the outside. I love that shot, by the way. And Irvine is snuck through as well. Brooks is dropping down the order then. It is chaos in this second and this third safety car restart, but Hammer Time's back up. Then we got Joseph off, and the man who's second in the World Championship. He is off the circuit at the moment. Irvine is down in 8th finish there. Brooks, he's down in 9th then. And I think that I'm not sure if Scooby Stew did it. I think he went to the back of Styles said yellow flag said for Picasso, and that's it's such a shame then. And look at this, said oh goodness me then, what is going on here then? It is ZGS then, and also we got Hammer Time there as well. And there's that Scooby off. Oh my word there, and he's coming on there almost in front of the cars there. Oh gosh, good gosh there. What about Hammer Time? Oh goodness me, he's pushing him into the hairpin as well. There in ZGS there, having a great defender there. Brooksy is snuck back up. We got another safety car here. Oh my word there. And look, there is almost Duncan has got a 5-second penalty for going into the back of Picasso then. Oh good. Oh, he's got damage as well. Duncan has there. He's going to be furious with that. Look at how much the track is drained in the last couple of laps or so. It's still raining up there, but look, there is almost no standing water at all. The track is just damp now. It's just damp out there. So I reckon that we're going to be quite close then to the dry tyres in the not too distant future then. And let's see what we can do then. And let's see what we can do. Let's see what the driver's going to do now. I think it's still too wet for the dry tyres for upset, but I'm wondering if the time the safety car comes in, I wonder if someone's going to throw on a set of slick tyres now then. Of course, the golden rule in these conditions is to be on the right tyres at the right time then. And the Kaz has dropped right back in the moment. Look at the debris all over the circuit then. Stars has a 5-second penalty. I'm not sure how bona fide that is then. Scooby Stew is in the pits then for the Mercedes and he needs to slow down. He does slow down quite nicely, and he's on the soft tyres, Scooby Stew is, so he is so he can see what we have seen in the commentary box then. He can see that there is a dry, that the rain is easing off. The track is getting drier and drier. He is on the soft tyres, so is Cosmo as well then. I hope they're not listening to me then, because I could be in a lot of trouble here if they are then. Out of the pits now comes Scooby Stew. He is on the soft, slick tyres then. And remember, he didn't use any tyres, did he, at all, in qualifying two, soft tyres in qualifying two, did he, Scooby Stew then. So this is part of his master plan, perhaps then. Out of the pits comes Joseph as well. He's also on the soft tyres then, as it is, you see, look then, there's still a lot of spray coming off the cars then, but it is, but the track then is not as damp as it was. Look at that then, it's almost, look at that, I can't see any puddles on the circuit there. Oh gosh, good gosh indeed then. So the Scooby Stew, Cosmo, Duncan and Joseph are all on the soft tyres, we're on board on the slick tyres then. So these are the dry tyres, and Cosmo is struggling to get on with it here, and I think that Duncan's not going to be too pleased with that then. I wonder if Cosmo is just I think that Cosmo there is just taking his time at the moment and just seeing the grip then. So I think that so that's what he's doing then. Safety car's out at the moment and I don't think it'll be in this lap. It'll probably be in the end of the next lap then. So Cosmo doesn't have to worry too much, I don't think, albeit they are about 30 odd seconds away from the 10th position, which is Picasso at the moment. There is that they have not elected to come in there, but I'm wondering Picasso and maybe Picasso's coming in at the end of this lap perhaps, but I don't think he's got damage on Picasso. I don't think he has. So safety car for the fourth time in this race, and goodness me, I think that Burt Mylander has led the most led the most laps at the moment. Duncan there just slipping in slightly at the moment. This is not a we're just trying to gauge then if the track is dry enough for the slick tires. I don't think it is yet then. However, look at how the rain is almost stopped in this race. It has stopped almost entirely. I think that some drivers, maybe the likes of Picasso, Iron Knight and Irvine, might throw on this set of slick tires here. What about you, Mad Bro? He's stuck in between a rock and a hard place, but I think that maybe there's dry tires all the way to go. He is staying out at the moment now. Is anyone else coming in the pits? Nope, all the top runs are staying out, but no, DGS is in the pits and he might also seal as well. We're going to have a sprint finish then to the end of this race. Irvine's in the pits as well. So the mechanics then again out there getting ready then for the slick tires. There they are then. As I drive through, Duncan's got a 3-second penalty. And now it's medium tires there for ZGS, and so he is on the medium tires. I wonder if he had no soft tires left. Scoob Shoes back in the right position. Irvine on the soft tires. Picasso on the medium tires. And look at this. Cosmo's back up into the ninth position now. And look at that. And there's Joseph then, who a minute ago then the race wasn't looking too good. Look, it stopped raining. It stopped raining now. Oh my goodness me. This is not good for the race leader, the championship leader then. And oh goodness me, the Mother Nature is really starting to show her teeth here tonight, isn't she? Oh, good gosh then. So the top 7 drivers then have not come in the pits and they're still on the intermediate tires. Styles is going to be cursed as luck. Same with Kaz and many things like that. But all 3 of them are on a very good race, a very solid race. Scooby Stew could be potentially leading the Japanese Grand Prix. Absolutely magical stuff indeed here in Cobalt. Safety car start at the moment, and it's our 4th safety car. I'm not really sure what the last 2 have been for, to be honest. We've had a bit of some incidents here and there, but I'm not really sure if it was warranted a safety car, but never mind. We haven't had many safety cars in silver, gold or bronze, but I think the Burt Mylander must have got bored tonight then, so he's out now. Look, there's almost no spray coming off the cars or the tires at all then. Oh god gosh then. So yes then, I think look at that, there is still a bit of spray off the front tire, but I think that the track is ready for the slick tires. I think it's ready for the slick tires. Oh my word then. And now, and who is gonna, I think that there's gonna be a lot of drivers that are smiling from here to here then. How are the intermediate tires going to do? How are the slick tires going to do then? When the safety car releases these wild animals back for racing speed. Hopefully again there, the lights off one. Hopefully for the final time this time then. Here we go then. Right then, now then, let's see then. There is still water coming off those tires, but it's barely any, is there? So the intermediate tires is a magical tire, isn't it? It can almost, it's still quick on almost dry track and still quick on almost a saturated track, but I think that the slick tires is going to be quicker in this part of the race. What is you, my bro? He is in the pits, and so yes, he is in the pits. Kaz is stayed out there, and so Kaz is on the intermediate tires. Everyone else is coming to the pits, and Hammer Tom has stayed out as well. So Iron Knight has said, so Scooby Stew is the first driver on the soft tires, and look at him, he's coming, going into turn 1 then. What about the intermediate runners? And they have stayed on the track at the moment. Scooby Stew is all over the back there, but we've got Cosmos up the inside into turn 2. Oh, contact! There's contact! He's coming back on the circuit! Oh my word! He's come back on the circuit, he's hit the racing point now, and then Scooby Stew is out of the Grand Prix. He is out. Oh, he's in the air, he's off, he's upside down. Scooby Stew is, oh my goodness me. And now that would warrant a safety car, but I don't think it was. Oh, he's upside down, look at that. Oh my goodness me, oh my goodness me, it's absolutely horrific there from Scooby Stew. Oh, drama after drama in this race then, isn't it? And oh gosh, there's Styles there, and look at that, and Cosmo, Brooks is just gone on the outside, and Styles is on the soft tires as well, going back at the front there as well. The yellow flags are trying to still remove the Mercedes car. Oh my goodness me, and Kaz says Avatar is going on the outside, and look at this, it's R9 up in the second position now. Kaz is dropping down the third. Oh my word, and Kaz there, who's on an absolutely stupendous Grand Prix, is gone to nothing there, and Hammer time! Hammer time is off as well. Phoenix, oh look at Hammer time has completely cut the circuit, and he is he's 10-second track limits there. Oh gosh, there, and oh my word, there, that was an absolute chaos, wasn't it? So at the moment it's Duncan who's leading the Grand Prix, and he's on he could be on course for his first ever Grand Prix win. No, he isn't. It's Iron Knight who's leading the Grand Prix. Is he staying out? No, he's coming in the pits, so it's Duncan who is out on circuit. So I've got a Red Bull as it's Hammer time is off the circuit there as well. Oh goodness me! And as now we're on board. Oh look at this, and now we've got ZGS then who's trying to overtake Irvine. No, it's Irvine who's got up. I don't know how. As Brooks has got a 3-second penalty. Somehow the racing points are now in second and third, and they have really come a full circle in this Grand Prix, haven't they? The racing point team now second and third. My word, there. ZGS in fourth, Picasso in fifth position, you mad bro in a sixth position there. We got Brooksy in seventh position, many things as an eighth now. Iron Knight in 10th, and Stars is back in the top 10. Stars is there, good stuff there for the Stars man. Kaz in 11th position there, and Hammer time in 12th position. Now we got also Cosmo in 13th position there. Red Bull having an absolute miserable time in ALR this season, haven't they? I've got to say, we have nothing against the Red Bull and ALR, do we? But they just seem to have a really bad rub of the green end. Scooby Stew has confirmed he is okay, and he could walk it off, and we missed the incident there, but we've seen Scooby Stew upside down there in the gravel trap there, but luckily he's confirmed he's all right. And Critical Alibi reckons there's an ALR short video right there. I don't think we could have many there. Joseph is off the circuit. What is going on? There's drama after drama in this race. This is incredible. No one wants to win this race, do they? Oh my word there. And I've got to say, I don't even know how many leads we've had. We've had like 4 or 5 leads. 5 laps, this is absolutely incredible. Oh my goodness me. And yes, no one wants to win this race, do they? On board then now with Picasso, who's right underneath the rear wing now of ZGS said. These two are on the medium tires. Duncan has set the fast side race. Duncan has now won a Grand Prix in ALR before. He could potentially be on the cusp there. Irvine has now won a Grand Prix, even though he's been very unlucky. He's now the fastest driver on the circuit as well. DRS for the first time in the race is now enabled. Mad bro is now doing a fifth for this. He's past his championship rival. Joseph is down into 6th now. Oh, now we got Brooks, he's also flying as well in 7th position. Now Brooks, I think, has 2 3-second penalties in this race, don't they? And it's Joseph there. I think he's testing out the steering there. Has he damaged it when he had that issue and spin a spoon there, perhaps? He's still in 6th position now. Joseph just needs to keep his head down, just needs to keep it going, doesn't he? Because this has been a very challenging race, hasn't it? Where drivers just seem to be falling off at the wayside, don't know. We're down to 13 cars there in this race as well. Look at that, that was an oversteering Picasso there. Billy is on the cusp, and there's some points here on the cusp of some podium here tonight. The gap is down to 3.2 seconds there between Duncan and Irvine then. Duncan does have a 3-second penalty though, doesn't he? Oh, goodness me then. So Irvine just needs to get within that 3-second window, and he will be leading the Grand Prix. And this will be his first Grand Prix win of his career. Now, goodness me, who would have thought that a couple of laps ago? Magnificent, isn't it, from Irvine? You very much got to keep your head in these situations, don't you? Joseph, who's dropped behind you, Mad Bro. Can you, Mad Bro? I think you, Mad Bro's done everything right tonight, hasn't he? As we said there, Mother Nature was just against him, wasn't he? Wasn't she? Because of it stopped raining then at the worst time for you, Mad Bro. He's down in 5th position. Let's see what I can do then, because he's got 2 cars in front of him on the medium tires. Duncan has set the fastest up the race. He's flying. Oh, just as I said, Irvine's at the fast of the race then. So Irvine's flying as well, actually, not Duncan. Then as Tad Porkies going across the line in 24 out of 27 then. And it's here at the moment is Picasso. And we're on board there with you, Mad Bro. How much he got in the tank then now in terms of what pace he has then. And we're on board with him right now. There's his 2 competitors in front of us then. Can you, Mad Bro, get on the podium for the 6th time then? He is I think the 7th that day. Well, today he's just been very unlucky. Since then, he's been on the podium in every single Grand Prix. Well, he's going to have to earn his podium. He's earned them so far in the last 5 races, but he's very much going to have to put his toe down now, isn't he, for the next 4 laps to earn that podium position. But then with Picasso then less than a second behind at ZGS, and he will be in the DRS, and the DRS will be coming into effect for the first time on lap 25 out of 27 then. So that is going to be crucial, I think, in this race then. So Picasso then just needs to stay in there. He is, and he's in prime position now, but he has got the hammer Hammer Time is out of the race there. Hammer Time then, of course, before the rain stops as well, he was on course for a podium as well. Oh dear, there's a lot of drivers that are going to be absolutely devastated by that. And Sirius Marshall saying, go on Duncan lad. Mason saying, go on Duncan. And then yes indeed, Duncan there, who's representing the Williams tonight, and doing a good job, isn't he? Duncan is there. He's at 3.5 seconds in front. He needs to stay within the 3-second window. Duncan is there now, fast on the race. They're going quicker and quicker. Look, CGS is under mighty pressure. Irvine is clipped him by the minutest of margins again, and they're trading fast as we're on board with Picasso as we're coming across the line as well. He's going on. Oh my goodness, CGS there. Wow, I think that was a very extreme Verstappen-esque maneuver there from CGS, and I'm wondering then if that. Oh my goodness me, he is out. Picasso is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. Oh my word there, and it was on the cusp there of some points, wasn't he? Picasso was. I'm wondering if that chop across the track there really distracted him there, but whatever the case, but that is such a shame for Picasso. He is out of this race then. Styles is on. Picasso is going to be furious with that, isn't he? Because I think that was an extreme chop, to say the least. Maybe I'm wrong there, but we was on board with him, wasn't we? And that looked a bit maybe a bit extreme there. Choppy saying, go on Duncan. Duncan unfortunately is now with is now a second. Is now now within the free. Is now Arvin. Let me get me words on. Is now within 3 seconds of what he needs to be in terms of Irvine, because he's got a 3-second penalty. Irvine's got no penalties at all then, so he needs to find 0.2 of a second, and he is fluctuating up and down at the moment, isn't it? ZGS there in a bit in a world of his own there. Many things has gone very wide and carrying too much speed there. Styles is on the cusp of getting some points there for the Haas team. Good stuff indeed there for Styles. He just needs to keep it going. He possibly could and should have a lot more positions than that as well, shouldn't he, really? But the rain again there really robbed another driver of issues as well. The Red Bull of Cosmo is in issues as well in the S as well. Irvine has got a fastest lap for the race there. I don't think Duncan had a fast lap that time around there, so I think Duncan is very much on the back foot then. You mad bros right underneath the rear wing of his teammate now. Well, in the rear wing is it, but he's closer. Lap 26 out of 27 here. There are the two Alfa Romeo drivers, and many things is blasted past Joseph. Joseph's done something. He's a limping, wounded racing point here tonight, isn't he? I think he's done very well to stay in this one, but it's been a challenging one, to say the least, hasn't it? So I'm wondering now, is ZGS said he's on course for ZGS. He's had a podium before, hasn't he, ZGS has, back in the Italian Grand Prix. So, of course, it's going to be difficult, isn't it? Is he going to let his teammate through, or is he going to have the pacer to repel his teammate? It's a question, because I think that it's about 6 seconds ago between himself and Irvine. You mad bro is flying out there, isn't he? But I think that second position might be off the cards for you mad bro tonight, but he does need to get within 3 seconds of Duncan as well, and then he might be getting second, but I think it's off the cards here tonight, isn't it? Unfortunately, I thought as we're just on board then with Sirius Rush saying Irvine deserves this win, but Duncan deserves needs to get so much needed points as well. Mason is Mason saying the Brooksy P5 and I'm doing a good job indeed. Then Iron, great drive too. Yes, there's been I think there's been some good drives, hasn't there? There's been some very unlucky drivers out there, wasn't there? Final up then at the Japanese Grand Prix, just as Irvine said, no fast up then, as Duncan has not replied in the last 2 laps then, so I think that Irvine now has got within a second now, hasn't he? And look at this head, you mad bro, and look, ZGS there I think is doing that's a very good thing. ZGS is good stuff indeed there from the Alfa Romeo driver, absolutely great stuff, as we've got a Red Bull of Cosmo there just getting out of the way as well. We've got 10 cars remaining, and Cosmo's out of the race, actually. I thought he was getting out of the race, but Cosmo is out of the Japanese Grand Prix. What a shame there for Cosmo. He was on the fringe of the points there. But in the end, then it just didn't get the luck that he deserved for it. And I think a lot of drivers will be saying that at the end of this one. Retirements and Casal out of the race, then Gaz, Ginner, Scooby Stew, Hammer Time, Picasso, and Cosmo all out of this race. And this this action-packed Japanese Grand Prix. Mason saying hats off to all the drivers. Sorry, Sean, for seeing that. Don't worry, my good man. As I think they're going to be honest, Ooh, I am lost for words, actually. So, yes, I think you have stolen my thunder there, Mason, but do not worry, my good man. Right then, so we are now coming up then to the 130 yard for the 27th and final time. It's been a slog of a race, hasn't it? An absolutely dramatic race, to say the least. And Duncan is going to come across the line first there. This will be Duncan's best result of his career. So, I think that he would be disappointed about that 3-second penalty, but Duncan gets a very solid second position today. But it's Irvine who wins the Japanese Grand Prix. His first Grand Prix win of his career. Well done to Irvine. Magnificent stuff indeed. Then you mad bro set the fast lap of the race on the final lap as well. But Irvine there is going to be ecstatic with that result. A good, crucial result for himself in his quest for the championship as well. With you mad bro, he's taken 9 points out of you mad bro in his quest for the championship. Then so the gap is down to. It's down to 34 points then between himself and Irvine, and who propels himself into second in the World Championship. Then good stuff indeed. Then is just on board then with Irvine. Then, my word. Brooks again, driver of the day, then I can't argue with that. Then I think Brooks did very well to stick at it as well. I think a lot of drivers did actually, considering the action that was happening there. Then, incredible. But there he is. Irvine is on top of the podium. Duncan is second. Third position is you mad bro as well. And so you mad bro, who of course is still in the championship by 34 points. Then, but I think that this might he'll be feeling that he should be celebrating his hat-trick race win. But Irvine then, all the trials and tribulations for the Racing Point team, and I gotta say, with about 10 laps to go, I don't think he was expecting to be on top of the podium with that one. Incredible stuff indeed then. Right, let's take a final look at the classification then from the Japanese Grand Prix. Irvine from pole position to checker flag then, but I gotta say, I think that with the trials and tribulations there, I must admit then, it felt like a much more difficult race than that. Duncan finished second in, that's his best result of his career in ALR, and he was so unlucky about that 3-second penalty, wasn't he? Otherwise, he would be celebrating on top of the step of the podium. You mad bro in third, then his lead has been decreased to 34 points then. Fourth position is ZGS then, from 10th to 4th, strong drive then. Brooksy in fifth position, his first point since the British Grand Prix. Many things in sixth for the McLaren team, strong drive. Joseph was very unlucky, but I think he'll be happy with the points in the end after what came his way. Eighth position is Iron Knight then. Ninth for Stars, his first points then for the Haas team and for himself. Good stuff. Kaz in 10th position there. Very unlucky Kaz was, because I think him and Hammer Time had it coming together. Retirements was Cosmo, Picasso, Hammer Time, Scooby Stew, Jinner, Gaz and Calsal, unfortunately all retired from this Japanese Grand Prix. Excuse me, that was not my car horn, by the way. Now we got in the, hopefully the interviews work, but if they don't work, we'll carry on with the interviews anyway, and what we'll do is we'll upload them to the highlights package, in the highlights package that will come out in a week's time, of course, since I got a dodgy PlayStation 4. Anyway, absolutely amazing stuff indeed. As we got, I think we've got 2 drivers in here tonight, and give me a shout if you're in here, guys. Give me a wave. Hello? Hello, everyone. I think let's start off with Irvine first. Then, Irvine, you had pole position tonight, then, but I gotta say that feels like a very long time ago. Oh my word! Then, what a race! Talk us about it from your perspective.
Jesus Christ. I didn't have a wet setup for Japan, so I was running a dry setup and my rear tyres were just overheating constantly. I was so slow through that first sector, I had everybody right behind me. And then, I don't know what happened after that first safety car, but I just lost control of the car and I thought that was it. Unfortunately, I managed to get back through, come out.
I got to say, that was absolutely incredible drive. We had a lot of safety cars in that race as well. Talk us about how you kept your composure, because it seemed like there was a lot of incidents out there, but and I can't say you didn't keep. Unfortunately, you did get involved in a couple of scuffles then. But how did you keep your composure when in such difficult conditions? It sounds like me going to work, really. And you're now second in the World Championship, if I'm not very much mistaken. You're 34 points behind you, mad bro. Do you think with 4 rounds to go, then it's quite a mammoth gap with only 104 points up for grabs? Then do you think you can catch him?
Well, no, I'm on nights the next 2 weeks, so I won't be available I thought I'd try and score as many points as possible, so hopefully when I come back, I'm still within a chance of getting promoted up to bronze.
Oh yeah, I forgot you told me that last week. But because I asked you that last week, didn't I? Absolutely brilliant stuff. Well done, everyone. Congratulations on your first win and your first pole position. Talk us about your pole lap before you leave us, then, because I've got to say that was a stonker.
Well, yeah, I don't know where that lap came from, to be honest, because it was a second quicker than the laps I set in Q1 and Q2. So I don't really know what happened or what I did differently. But yeah, I was surprised to have quite a big gap of, I think it was like 3.5 tenths or something like that.
It was absolutely incredible. Out of body experience, then, similar to Ayrton Senna lap, then, by the sounds of it.
But Eddie Irvine, let's say that.
Eddie Irvine lap, yeah. He was a very quick qualifier in the Jordan days. Fantastic stuff indeed. Well done, Irvine. Brilliant stuff today. Congratulations on your first race win. Absolutely fantastic stuff. Let's come to Duncan in second position then. Duncan, that's your best race result of your career, second position today. But do you feel that was the win taken away from you because of that 3-second penalty?
Yeah, no, obviously it's my mistake for getting the 3-second penalty. I knew it was there. I was thinking I was keeping the gap, but towards the end, Irvine just clawed it back. So, yeah, I knew it was hard to stay in front of him. But
there was a lot. Oh, sorry.
Sorry, mate. Can I just say, I love the name Duncan. I think I should keep it, but it's actually Dakuna.
Someone said you were called Duncan in the in the chat.
Okay, yeah, everyone, you're not the first one to say it, and I quite like it actually. So, but I just
Dakuna, is it? Hang on, let me put that down. Mate, unfortunately, I'm going to probably call you Duncan next week because when I sleep, everything just goes out me here.
Okay, I've been called a lot worse. So.
So Dakuna, I got in the you had so many like safety cars, and he was in the back there with just a handful of laps to go. Then, but you called that exactly right there. Did you just have a feeling about the slick tires was the way to go?
To be honest, I think it was more pure luck. I'll be honest. I had an incident on the restart of the safety car. I can't remember who it was, but the Racing Point braked a bit early. I thought anyway, and it got a bit of a damaged ring, so I had to pit anyway. I think it was just all luck, and I thought, you know what, got nothing to lose. It's drying up. I'll try the softs, and by some chance, I ended up in the lead.
And very unlucky then as well, because it seemed like you had the pace over yourself and Irvine, but it just faded towards the end there. But going into the next 4 Grand Prix, then what is your aims for the remainder of the season then?
Just to keep trying my best, do as well as I can, and see where I end up. Really.
Really good stuff. Well done, Dakuna. Good stuff indeed. There, I've actually wrote that name down now, but yeah, unfortunately, I don't think
Duncan Dakuna goes well, doesn't it?
I'll call you Duncan Dakuna next week, probably.
Yes.
Well done, indeed, man. Good stuff indeed. And last and no means least is you, man, bro. Of course, I missed you off the interviews last week, which is shame on me. But at least I remembered this week. Unfortunately, though, I think it was Mother Nature that was against you this week. It seems like you was in control of that race for all but the last couple of laps, and when the rain stopped at the worst time.
Yeah, you know what it is, mate. It was a gamble, you know. Are you gonna go and stuff? It was right at the crossover point when the safety car ended. So, when the safety car was out, and I really doubted. I didn't know if I lose a lot of time if I would bid for softs, and yeah, in the end, I think I recovered well from that, and I'm happy with third place. Irvine took the risk, and it paid off, and I can only congratulate him and Ticunia.
Your championship leaders only come down by 2 points, so you still got over a win advantage with Irvine missing the next 2 rounds as well. Is this your championship to lose now?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna get it now, but I don't want to celebrate too early because a lot can happen in a couple of races. So, yeah, been on the podium a lot of times now. So I hope I can expand that.
Yeah, you've only not been on the podium once, which is your first race in Cobalt. So it's been your consistency, which has been absolutely mega stuff indeed. Then, but going on to the next 4 races, then of course United States, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. How are you going to approach those races? Is it going to be just one at a time, or are you just going to be thinking about the percentage game?
Yeah, one at a time. I mean, I feel comfortable on United States and Mexico. I feel good on. So yeah, I'm pretty confident for the upcoming 2 races. I'm not sure about Brazil and Abu Dhabi. I had some off days on other leagues on the track, so yeah, just gonna wait and see and practice a lot. So we should be good in for some points.
Well, hopefully I'll wrapped up by then. Well done indeed, you mad bro. Fantastic stuff indeed. Thank you to all the drivers that joined me in the commentary box as well tonight. Brilliant stuff indeed. We're back in action then for gold on Sunday. We are at the land of opportunity. It's the United States Grand Prix in Austin, Texas. Then, so with the championships all wrapped up in gold, now the gloves are off, isn't it? The battle for second, third, and fourth, and it's really hotting up. So do not go anywhere for that one. Silver, of course. We have a new champion, the forms of Troy. Remember, after he is now the 3rd ever silver world champion. Can they also wrap up the Constructors' Championship? It may be Mexico before the Renault King celebrates in silver. And bronze and Cobalt is still all up in the air, but you mad bro is taking another step towards that crowning glory of Cobalt. See you on Sunday.